Are you guys aware that we almost see no titties in movies anymore, and we only see dicks? Has anyone noticed this? Yes, I love titties. Big old titties.
What's up, you beautiful bitches? We're back. We're finally back after a much-needed day off because your boy was dying, and I got my boy Drexel with me, my token black friend. Thank God.
Absolutely. Camelot, thanks for having me on, brother. How you doing, man?
They were all calling me. They're like, man, you haven't had a black guy on. And since like your second show, because they think I'm from Alabama, you know, oh, well, you're from Alabama, makes sense. You don't like. And I'm like, no, dude. No, I got like one black. I got Drex. He's
yeah, the one. You know what's crazy though? So I was just having this conversation on my Discord, man. I love being in places that have a stigma to them, right?
Yeah.
Whether it's racist stigma or sexist stigma, or you know, like if you go to California, right? There's the stigma is true about California. It's full woke and it's devoid of testosterone.
Yeah,
which means we clean up.
Yeah.
Muscles, strong jaw, bass in your voice, heavy ball sack.
Yeah,
you're
dude.
gonna clean up, man.
Yeah, dude. Like, you go to a club, man. You go to a club in Vegas, or you go to a club anywhere over there, and dude, the girls just gravitate toward. They always walk up and they like, and they don't ask. By the way,
They don't, never ask.
they grab my shoulders,
too.
they'll grab my chest. They'll be like,
Yep.
"Oh my gosh!" And I'm like, "Yeah, there's not a lot of these guys out here." You know, they all
let me ask you this though.
they have to do the male feminist thing to try to get laid.
Okay, so I gotta give a shout out to my dude Shaftesbury. He hit me up last night. Hey, Andrew. Shaft hits me up last night. He says, Drex, you won't believe this, man. He was in the gym, and he's a bodybuilder, right?
Yeah.
He's in the gym working out. He tells me he overhears these girls talking. No, dudes, my fault. Dudes talking. A dude put on a bra to smash the chick.
Wow.
And I'm like, bro, you surrendered your manhood. Like, she doesn't respect you, right?
He put on a bra.
It starts with the bra. It ends with pegging. All roads end in pegging. Every road, I promise you.
But why would you? Did he wear the bra because he didn't want to like expose himself to her?
No, I think it was just like one of those like she basically kind of like it sounded like it was like put this on and then I'll let you hit. And he was like just a thirst bucket dude. So it's like, oh, okay, and he did it. And it's like, fuck you. What are you doing? Like, no, that's never okay, man.
You know, speaking of that, I had somebody somebody message like a message board that I was following. And it was people like it was men like kind of telling other men what they should do in situations when they find themselves like smashing pissers or something. And this one guy was like, you what you need to do is you need to plan everything out. You need to sit her down and have a talk and ask with time, like what times you're going to do stuff and get consent for every single level of it. And then recheck consent during over and over. And I'm like, you're going to dry her up so hard. You're going to be stuck to her and you have to call the damn ambulance. That's what's going to happen.
How old was this guy?
Shit out! It was a random message board. He was probably a virgin, to be honest.
Okay, that message board, you never know what they look like, right?
Yeah.
What these guys look like, you're never surprised, right? Like you remember the thought cop, right?
Yeah.
They got ran through by the whole department.
Yep.
When you found out she was married, you went like this. And I will go in my mind's eye, and I have a vision of a cuckold. And then you opened your eyes, and you went, you look exactly the way I fucking expected you to look.
Yeah,
right?
and his name was like Jethro or some bullshit. Or like
dude.
Jebediah, or he
was like he's a preacher's son, right? Like, like a pastor.
And this son of a bitch is like, I'm standing by my wife. Yeah, so is about 80 other dudes, by the way. They're standing behind your wife, let's be honest.
No, hold on. Now, come on. We got to say this, though. The funniest shit is like, you know, there are people out there talking about how the way this chick looked, right? So Lina MGTOW called her an egg with hair, right? And he's totally accurate, right? That being said, Camelot, I speak for all the bros out there when I say on a slow Tuesday, we will smash 100% with hair. We'll go like this.
100%.
I mean, listen, and especially if we see videos, right? Like, okay, so Camelot, you and I are on the force, right? Yeah. We're hanging back. Yeah, you know, Camelot, we busted that perp, you know what I'm saying? You know, let's go, you know, rescue a cat out of a tree. And then someone walks up to you like, hey, yo, Camelot, Drex. This one right here. You're like, ew, gross. And like, hold up. and they pull out the phone, right? And you go like this, damn, she can succeed.
Yeah.
And you're like, I don't, Camelot, because here's what happens. You know when you get that weird imbalance where you go like this, she's well below my standard, right? That's an automatic no.
Yeah.
But then you see her her looks are a 2, but her skills are like a 12.
Yeah.
So you're like, that balances out. Yeah. Right?
Yeah,
Like, yeah.
Dude,
I've
given to charity before. I'll
no problem, man.
I'll make a deposit. I don't care, dude. Look, I've had girls that, you know, a few of the other girls canceled. I was already drinking that night.
Yep.
This girl texts me out of nowhere, and it's a definite no. And she texts me, and I was buzzed, and I was like, you know what? Let's come over. And I harpooned a whale or two back in the day.
No, hold on now, Camelot. We're gonna do this for the culture, right? Because I got big chick quotas. We gotta do this for the culture. Who smashes better?
Oh,
The super hottie or the average looking or the below average shit?
the girl that has to take her glasses off when you get ready. You know what I'm saying? She takes her glasses off, you know. Yeah, that's the girl. We get a little bit of love handles. She has that weird, like, little floopy thing at the bottom of her stomach, even though she's kind of thin.
Yeah, you know what?
You know she's gonna go ham as hell every last drop. She ain't stopping.
I fucking hate you. Camelot, you know when you say something, you get a mental image, right?
Yeah.
Like, so I have Rolodex. I have like this mental Rolodex of all my past encounters, right?
Yeah.
And I can just like pull them at any time. So if someone says something, I'll be like, I remember that. Like, huh. And you know what? Now I gotta say this though. I was talking to this native chick, and she had asked me about, like, you know, have you ever been with a native chick? I was like, no. And remember, usually this comes from your environment, right? Like, you just certain people who grew up in certain places have access to more, you know, like, oh, you grew up around Indians, or you grew up around this, you know what I'm saying? Like, you had more access. I just didn't have, like, you know, I wasn't around a lot of natives, right? And she asked that, and like, this was beautiful about being a guy, right? You just go like this. Do I like what I see? Yes.
Yeah.
Then I'm down.
That's
Women do this weird thing, like, he's got to be this tall, or he's got no. We just go like this. Camelot, do you never notice male sexuality is binary, right? Smash or pass.
Yeah.
It doesn't go up or down based on, like, now here's the thing. Now, if she's crazy, we're like, yeah, no, I'm good. I'm not dealing with Amber Heard, right? Whereas chicks go like this. Ew, I'm not smashing Jeff Bezos. Oh my God, honey, he's a billionaire. Oh.
Suddenly his worth is up.
He went up. Like, oh my God. He does have like nice shoulders. We don't do that. Oprah stays a 0, no matter how many billions. Right?
Yeah, dude. A pinched waist and a fat ass. I'm like, go usually almost every time.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even care. Now, look, the only time I care is when they're like unhinged crazy. Like, you ever hung out with a girl and she shows up, and it's like the first time you've hung out with her, and she shows up and she sits down at the table and she immediately starts telling you, she's like, I just want to get it out there. Like, you know, I have a mental imbalance and I'm on a bunch of meds, and, you know, I'm just crazy as hell. Like, they'll tell you that right away. And if they tell you that shit, you got to smash that night and pass immediately. Just gone out. Because I'm still
with an alias. And you know what? Now I got to ask you this though, Camelot. On the scale, right? As we go up and down the scale, how much do hotels turn you on?
Hotels? Oh God. If it's like a normal ass hotel, not much. If it's like the Venetian, it's like a presidential suite, then it's a lot. I love it. Love it.
Bro, I don't give a fuck if it's a Motel 6. I love I don't know what it is. Hotels are there's two things that are my biggest aphrodisiac, like, other than, you know, obviously, like the obvious, you know, women in lingerie. So let me tell you why hotels do it for me. There's always like this component of naughtiness, right?
Yeah. Well,
you know what I'm saying? Like, especially in someone's place, it's like, I'm here.
If you ever driving through some shit ass place, like maybe you're in like Louisiana, and you're driving through and you see one of those weird like L-shaped motels that are one floor and they just have the doors with the cars.
We have HBO, right?
Yeah, that's the one. That's the one where, you know, you're dumping some loads and some girl you're gonna regret. That does kind of turn me on in a weird nostalgic way. You know what I'm saying? But when you know you got the stripper coming up to your room, you know,
you're like, it's like, okay, so I'm gonna tell you what does it for me, right? What about the hotel setting? Because, you know, all these girls have the hoe bag, right? They carry the hoe bag with them, and inside the hoe bag is change of clothes into something that's more eye appealing, right? I.e., the panties or the fucking garters and all that. They have that. They have, like, you know, their beauty products and all that shit, right? Because they're all cheating. So for those of you who don't know, I know that I don't know who your audience is, but they're all cheating. All of them.
70% actually.
Yeah. For those of you who don't know, I know that you know I've taken a lot of flack on Nick's show because people were calling me like a scumbag and stuff. I said, look, dude, and we'll talk about this because we're gonna dissect dating tonight, right?
Yeah.
The laws, the culture, and the women themselves have ruined dating to a point where guys like us went like this. Well, I can get the maximum amount of return on my investment by smashing these women who are already taken, right?
Yep.
No STDs. They're the biggest freaks. They have friends who are also not getting dick down. No Me Too. You're not getting Me Too by a married chick, right? Like, so Camelot, how does a married chick explain why she was in a room with this random guy at the Hilton or wherever, right? Why was she in that room and you can see them on camera and stuff going to that room? You know, you're not holding her down or nothing. Why are you in the room with that man? Well, no Me Too, right? You literally, don't forget, no pregnancy. And speaking of pregnancy, the number 2 thing that turns me on besides hotels, I have it right here. This fucking Plan B. People talk about girls who swallow. When a bitch swallows Plan B in front of me, I'm like, oh my God, do it again. That shit Camelot. Everywhere I go, you get the condoms, you get the lube, you get the Plan B. And you know why? It's always cheaper than child support, fam.
That's for damn sure.
Man, hey, have you ever heard those guys who get weird about Plan B? Like, I ain't buying a bitch Plan B. You want 18 years? Like,
yeah, I buy 2 of them.
I'll buy 2.
There, dude. No, there's this one time. Speaking of one time, let me get this real quick before I forget because I keep forgetting. Ashley says excited for this CAMELCAST, of course, because of Drex. Love you, Ashley. Thank you for the first gold boy. Thank you, Bryce. The Rumble stream should be live now. By the way, Speedy, Drex and Camelot, smashing pissers. That's for damn sure. And the big one, Disco Cobra with a pink boy, putting us a 10th of the way to fight Milk. Love to see Drex on here. Love the dynamic of Nick and him and you as well. Have you heard of Sneeko? Yes, I have. He came up early on YouTube, was okay for a while, but Andrew Tate came into the picture and changed his style. Well, Sneeko's turned into a super cuck. By the way, thanks for that.
Who is that? I heard that name. Who's Sneeko?
He's the guy that was like he was on Fresh and Fit a bunch, and he was speaking the whole like alpha male thing. And then it was found out that he likes to watch his girlfriend get smashed by other guys, and now everybody's making fun of him, and they should. So now everybody's clowning him, which he probably deserves. Ryu says, smashing at the gym while I listen, abs and legs. Steel toes on. Dude, that's what I do. Steel toes. I wear my steel toes every day to the gym. Too High Strong, my boy, says, giving me, my guys, giving me tons of support, and I couldn't appreciate it more. Keep up the good work, you two. Thank you, Too High Strong. And I hope you're doing well, man. I know I talked to you on Twitter the other day.
Oh, yeah. I think he was in my Discord last night. Yeah.
Yeah, dude. He's a good, I just talked to him for like hours the other day. But
Yep.
Speaking of married women, dude, the one pro, and you kind of spoke to this, but this is what happened to me. If she just so happens to become with child, sometimes it's just the husbands now.
Yep. Or she's going to delete. All these chicks are pro baby deletion.
Yeah,
when they're in relationships.
From my experience, there's been an occasion where they just keep them, and I know that they exist, and I see pictures every once in a while through my email.
Uh-oh.
You know what I'm saying? but it's the husbands, and he's just like, and that brings me to a very terrible statistic. By the way, if you're a woman in the chat, get ready for this stream. But there's a crazy statistic. This statistic states that an estimated 30% of men in the U.S., our country, are not biologically related to the children they're taking care of, and they have no idea. That's a terrifying statistic. That means 30% of women out there getting cream bagged in. Yep. Now, to bring it back again to what Drex said, the rough number is 69 to 71% of women cheat. And men cheat at a similar rate, but women cheat as well. And obviously, I'm a guy, so when I was hooking up with girls on Tinder like every other day, a lot of them were in relationships, and almost none of the men knew. Sometimes they'd lie to me and say he knew, and then like a month later, after we've been smashing pisses for a while, they're like, "Oh yeah, so and so found out," and I'm like, "Wait, what do you mean so and so? He already knew." It's like, "No, he didn't know." And I'm like, "What the fuck?"
Nope.
How could you do this? Thank you, Karis. I'm not cheap. I'm moderately inexpensive. Hope everyone's doing well. Got to sleep for work tomorrow. Can't wait to see you this weekend. Love you, Karis. Thank you so much for the first Orange Boy already. A 10th of the way officially to the fight milk. Make sure you guys like the stream, by the way, and honor my boy Drex. We're already almost 200 away from goal. Get on it.
Nice. That's when you drink your funny milk, right?
Well, I drink the fight milk at a 1,000 in super chats. So we didn't hit it last stream, and we might not hit it this one, so we might be safe. Xanothea, you guys got me rolling prep chicken and rice to cut, downed a girl, and the rubber broke midway. You bet. Plan B. You know what Drex said? You know, I ain't buying no plan B for these kids.
Shit.
Dude, I remember this one time I filled this girl up, and it'd been like 2 weeks too. So my balls were loaded and ready. It was like a 12-gauge shotgun and doom.
Yep.
You know? BFG.
Book shots.
The music came on, and it filled her right up, dude. It filled it, dude, and it was like that scene in Scary Movie where he shoots her to the ceiling.
Yep.
And then she's like, "Oh, bro, I'm not on birth control." And I was like, "Well, get in the car, baby. We're going to Walgreens."
Let's go. Hey, we're going to Walgreens. Hey, you know what though? 24-hour everything is great, right?
Yeah.
Like, because in a jam, there's only two things you need: Plan B and Waffle House, right?
Yeah.
Because you need to refill, right? And you need to go ahead and get this bitch to Plan B, and then sit there and talk about the fucking you just had at Waffle House while you watch some ratchet, degenerate ghetto shit unfold, right? You're like,
the lady,
look at this shit. This only happens in a Waffle House in Alabama.
That lady caught that chair. Did you see that video?
Yeah, that was hardcore.
She caught it one-handed.
They fired her. They fired her.
She caught the chair.
Yeah, I guess because she technically, you know,
too good.
Fought with customer, blah blah blah. But I hope she got a new job. Shout out to that girl. But
yeah, dude, I released a video yesterday of a guy at Taco Bell getting mad at this lady. Of course, it's a white lady. You know, white ladies in retail don't mix. And she gets in his face, and he punches her in the face, and then they start brawling. Him and this chick and her boyfriend or husband. Dude, it was wild as hell. It's a fun video.
Bro, I love looking at like just ratchet ass fights, man.
Yeah, dude, love it.
I love it.
Absolutely love it. But yeah, dude, real quick before we get too busy into dating, you've been doing you got MGTOWN podcast.
Yep.
I've been following you for ever since I've known Nick, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
And what like how long what got you into it? Like you've known Nick your whole life, right?
Yep.
And when did you start doing the MGTOWN podcast thing?
No, so this is what happened. I was always me. I'm actually a much more, I guess you could say, like extreme or whatever off camera, because YouTube, you can't say certain words, you can't blah. They basically kind of like auto cuck you, right? You get auto nerfed. So I was always me, and then I started seeing more and more. I would say live stream. And this is what happened. I was always, people were telling me like, "Yo, Drex, man, you should just, because this is back when, before YouTube was big. People said, dude, you should have like a radio show or something. And, you have people call in and talk about your experiences." And I was like, yeah, maybe one day or something. And then as YouTube got bigger, I was kind of like, more and more people said, Drex, you should have a podcast. I'm like, yeah, whatever. And then one day, this is crazy. Nick and I have this huge gap where we may have seen each other like twice in this huge gap of years, right?
Yeah.
Because that's when he moved out in the middle of nowhere and started the big family with 37 fucking kids, right?
Yeah.
So in that gap, so I remember when Nick's first child was born, right? And then I may remember when his second child was born. And then there's this huge gap. So Nick had just had a baby, and that was baby number 5. And I'm like, yeah, 5 fucking kids? You know what I'm saying? Because you know how it is, right? When, you're busy, you're working.
Yeah.
There, you always kind of have like you're somewhat in touch. But there's that huge gap where, because he moved out in the country, we didn't see each other as much, right? And I'm traveling and doing what I do, right? And then, of course, I had a daughter in that time. And then all of a sudden, we go out there, and my daughter, because my daughter and his kids' ages like align perfectly where they can all kind of, play together.
Yeah.
And, I remember when Nick was going down here to law school and stuff, I met up with him. And then he's like, "Oh, Drex, I have a podcast." I was like, "Oh, okay." He's like, "Hey, you want to come on?" And so that was October 2018.
Yeah.
And that's how it started. And then I did it. And then, over time, people were like, "Drex, when are you gonna start a channel?" And people kept badgering me. Like, "When are you gonna start a channel? When are you starting?" So I was like, "Okay, finally, I'll start a channel. I want to learn how YouTube works, what I can and can't do, and all that stuff." So I did 2 years of content. I said I was gonna do 2 years. I was gonna take a break, and then I would come back. Because here's the thing. I think, like, in terms of quote unquote going your own way and all that stuff, I think that you need that. I think guys in general need that philosophy to thrive.
Yeah.
In this modern culture, to get themselves straight, understand male nature versus female nature, the system, the deep state, understand all that, right? And then after that, you have to move on to the next phase, which is what I want to do next, which of course is having fun, enjoying life, and then becoming a Renaissance man, right? Learning new skills, engaging with people who are kind of like outside your normal realm. And I mean, let's face it. Do you guys remember? You remember there was that show called it was Brooke Burke called Wild On, right, on the E channel, right?
Yeah.
And then Anthony Bourdain, had that show where he would go around and stuff, right?
Yeah.
I travel a lot. I like the idea of as through my travels and talking to people, I want to highlight that. So when I come back to YouTube, that's what I'll be doing more, right?
Yeah.
Having fun and still chopping up a topic or two, like a hot button topic that came, like like I said, if the Thought Cop story comes up, I would here's what happened. This is my take on it. A little quick hit video, and then still do like you do, like everyone does live streams and all that shit, right? So do it like that, because here's the thing, man. A lot of these dudes are so lost. I had this conversation with Becca the Ass Wrecker. I think it was yesterday or the day before, right? I know some wild people. So shout out to Becca out in Texas. So Becca hits me up, and you won't believe the shit she said to me, man. She's so tired of smashing dudes with a strap on. She's like, can I just get fucked for once? There's that many dudes. There's that many dudes who want to get their cheeks clapped that women are like, look, Kelly's in the chat. I told K-Dubs how bad it is. Like the Camelot, they make these new dudes are weird. When I came up, bro, there was no such thing as getting smashed as a dude. Like it just didn't exist. Now these dudes are like, they're Harry Styles wearing dresses. They're out here getting their cheeks clapped. They're doing Jack Murphy shit. I'm like, dude, what part of the game is this? We never did shit like this. Like, I don't know what's going on with these new dudes, right? Destiny. Look, if you were a cuckold back in the day, first of all, you would have had to actually explain what the term was, right? Yeah. If you walk to somebody, okay, if the year was, let's say the year is like 98, and you walk to somebody like, oh yeah, I'm in an open relationship. They're like, what the hell is that? Oh, I'm the cuckold. The fuck is a cuckold? Like, you have to explain it, right?
Yeah.
Bro, I was in so many weird situations when I first got into the swinger lifestyle. And I was like, I think these motherfuckers are actually just gay. You see what I'm saying? Like it wasn't about like because they would say things that only a gay dude would say. So come on.
Oh, but
come on. When you go to smash a chick, right? If a couple has you as the bull and you show up to go smash, you're in your mind, you're thinking like, oh, he's gonna be a cool dude. He's gonna be like, hey, what's up, bro? Everything's good. I'm here to do a job and then get the fuck out of here, right? Bro, these dudes start saying weird shit and doing weird shit, right? Where they be the cuck cage, where they have a little cage on their dick and balls. I'm like, hey, remember, you gotta focus, right?
Yeah.
So I'm sitting there, I'm like, you're in a chastity cage? I'm here to fuck. And every time you try to like focus, he would say something weird, or some of these people are into humiliation. White people are crazy. They're into humiliation. I was kind of like, look, man, I would keep saying, I'm here to do a job. I'm here to do a job. And then something weird would happen, right?
Yeah.
Like, I'm clapping the chick, and rather than the dude like being in a position where like I can clearly see him, right? Like he's over there or something.
Oh God, he moved.
Dudes are like here's the thing, they're not directly behind you, but they're kind of like right there, right? Where the picture is, right? And he would like start like zooming in, like
oh, no.
okay, okay. I was talking to my man Phoenix about this.
Oh,
have you ever clicked on a video, right, when you're surfing the hub, right?
Yeah.
And you're like, oh yeah, this chick is hot. And then this weird thing happens where you start questioning the director. You're like, why are you focused on the dude's butthole?
Yeah.
Right? He's smashing. And it's like, you're like, can we like move like right here?
Like, dude, I haven't shaved and like fucking
yeah. Bro, no, and they started saying shit like, oh yeah.
Oh God.
Oh yeah, fuck her harder with your big black cock. I'm like, you know what, man? Camelot,
dude.
I'm done.
I got it.
It got too weird.
I got to speak to this because this is so weird. Because I thought maybe it was just a weird situation. By the way, real quick, AWM Fishing, Drex, get on whatever podcast and berate all these 304s. Thank you, AWM, for the delicious orange boy. They're piling in, son, for the milk. I appreciate you. Real quick, so this one time, this is actually kind of recent, man. This isn't like years ago. This is recent. This is very recent. So I was talking to this girl, and I was talking back and forth with her, just Snapchat, because you have to have Snapchat, So I got that, and her dude adds me, and he's talking to me, and we're just having a normal conversation like dudes, like talking about bullshit, like games, music and stuff, cars. And he's like, dude, like, I got an idea. And I'm like, okay, cool. And the chick's hot as shit, by the way. And he's like, you should come over and like we'll fuck my girlfriend together. And I'm like, okay, well, I don't really like, I'm not really super, I've done it before, and I'm not really into like the there's just too much masculinity, right? But maybe I can consider it. And it starts getting farther where he's like, okay, well, you can have sex with my girlfriend, right? And I'm like, all right, you're a man, right? And he's like, yeah. He's like, have sex with my girlfriend, and then like when you're about to come, like pull out and put it in my mouth, and I'll suck you off. And I'm like, hold on.
Time out.
Hold on. This isn't even this. You just went super gay now. Like, hold on. What, you want me to blow in your? But you're the guy. Wait. So it's like it snowballs into him watching to hit me.
Bad word choice phrasing.
Yeah, I had to blow on his face now.
It snowballs.
It snowballed out of control. And I'm like, hold on. I was like kind of maybe considering like, I'll fist bump you. You can go sit in the corner. But now you have to finish on you and shit. What's happening?
Bro, I was in that scenario where all transgender biology. Well, what's crazy is I told this story on the 12 Days of Thoughtness, right?
Whew.
And I was so there was this chick. For those of you who are porn aficionados like me, you remember a girl named Eve Lawrence, right?
That sounds familiar.
This chick looked just like Eve Lawrence, right? Like identical. I was like, damn, she's bad. And so, sometimes when chicks are too bad on the internet, you're thinking like, oh, they use fake pictures or whatever.
Yeah.
But my homeboy, the king of Antigua, he was already there, right? So War Starter is already there, and he's like, and this is okay. This was 2006. This is before Google Maps, right? Bro, I was using MapQuest to get there. And, if you made one wrong turn or there was a construction, you just
pointed it out and shit.
Yeah. So I'm sitting there like this. I'm like, okay, I'm on. So he's calling me. He's like, yo, Drex, where the fuck you at? I'm like, bruh, this is Camelot. I wound up at a church. I'm sitting there like, I have no fucking clue where I am. I was in Eden Prairie. I go, I'm at a church, and I described. He goes, oh, I know exactly where you are. He came and got me, bro. We went over there, and I'm gonna tell you what. This is a pro tip for all you ladies. Stop saying you can take big dick if you can't take big dick. Okay. I show up there, Camelot, and this bitch had the audacity. She talked a big game at first, right? And she's bad. She was in white. I think she was in white or blue. Yeah, white lingerie, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, damn, she's bad. And she had the fake tits. She had the look, right? Her husband was a beta cuck. He looked like a trust fund kid. One of those.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, one of those. And so I'm sitting there like, okay, this is gonna be good, right? I tried to smash this chick. I don't even think I got 2 pumps. She was like, oh, wait. Let War Starter go first. I'm like, so I'm sitting there basically taking pictures, right? Until it's time for me to jump in, right? You tag your bro in, and you smash. Bro, my man busted on this chick's fucking huge tits. This dude jumped up and licked up, man. Oh. And very common in the cuck community is that you're going to hear them say, we're looking for a bull, and like my sub or my sister, he cleans up or he wants to. I'm like, no. Dude, I left the lifestyle in terms of like dealing with couples on any form. That was back in 2006. 2008. January 2008 was the last time I ever did. I was like, I'm done, because the dude was we were talking about this. I said, these dudes are actually gay. Like, because if the dude were 100% heterosexual, right? And he just goes, I just have this fetish for watching dudes smash my chick. That's like a little weird, but you're like, hey, if it's a hot chick and you're giving me consent,
it's like watching porn almost.
Yeah, it's like watching porn. I'm like, yeah, okay, whatever, right? Because you're there to do a job, right? But once it started getting into the dude's wearing lingerie, he's got his dick and balls in a cuck cage, he starts saying weird shit, or he's like barking out directions like he's a director, like, oh yeah, she likes to.
And then he wants you to finish on him because he says it's good for his pool.
Yeah, it's good for his skin. No, it's not good for anybody's skin, bro.
What happened to the normal cucks? Just sit in the corner. Just sit in the corner, bro. You're not sucking me off to finish.
Hey, Camelot, bro. When they started coming with the snack trays, right? When these dudes start coming with the snack trays, I'm not gonna lie, man. War started. I ran through the entire suburbs, right?
Yeah.
We ran through a disturbing amount of housewives, right?
Yeah.
Disturbing amount. And for those who don't know, I want to let me give a special shout out to my girl, Mama Vic. I was talking to her before I went to the gym today. Mama Vic is a great source of destroying the narrative of the 1950s was this perfect time and nobody did anything wrong. She will fucking catch you lames up to speed, okay? The hoes were hoes back then too. Did you hear about that milkman who had like 800 illegitimate kids?
No.
Yeah, Google it.
That's
He has
like
like
gone.
no bullshit. He has like 800 kids in the world. Like, so you know what that means? The men were at work, the women were sitting at home, mailman and milkman, and they were just run, and they were raw dogging all these hoes back then.
Yeah.
Right. And of course, the guy raised the kid as his own. Oops.
God, dude, could you imagine? And it goes to I'm sure that statistic of 70% of people cheating is accurate, and it probably hasn't changed much throughout.
I think it's higher. I really do think.
That's the damn sure.
Let me say why I think it's higher.
Well, it's the word they use, Drex, is admit to cheating.
Admit to. Yeah. I was going to say
30% of people that are, oh, I just kissed him, or he just put it in once and came. It technically was.
Yeah, there's some shit going. Well, so here's my issue though. So when it comes to like the nature of cheating and all that, right?
Yeah,
women are always going to cheat more because accepted it.
He already knows. Well,
if you imagine, you've seen those Tinder experiments, right? A girl gets on Tinder and pretends to be an average guy, and she's like, I get no hits, I get nothing.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
You're the most basic looking chick you've ever seen can go on Tinder right now and get 500 messages, right?
Yep.
So women are always going to make for the better cheaters for a few reasons. Women lie better than men, they deceive better than men, and they have more access to random
ease of access. Yep.
It's the ease of access. So this whole thing about like, oh my God, men are terrible, they cheat. And I'm like, bruh, go into any girl's phone. It's all kinds of pictures, videos. They're giving sloppy toppy in random bathrooms. I know what you hoes do. And I'm going to tell you something right now, Camelot. I had this conversation with Legal Mindset, right? I said, I'm going to tell you one of the main reasons why I left the dating market forever.
Yeah.
When you're the side dude for so many bitches, it warps your mind, right? Because what you said earlier, right? Every other chick is like, oh yeah, I'm actually in a relationship. I'm actually dating, or I'm actually married. Eventually you're like, it can't be all of them, right?
Yeah.
All of y'all can't, because the single ones are the ones that tell you they're on head meds. I don't know if you noticed this. The single ones are on the head meds that openly express it, right? I'm crazy. You're like, oh shit. If she doesn't say that, they're all married. All the ones who are not popping pills in front of you, they're married.
Yep.
Or in a relationship, right? So you were like, you kind of have this thing where you're like, is there any like actual single women? And then you realize the single women, you're just another dude to them, right? Just they go on their phone, text, whoever has the best dick and isn't a douchebag, he gets to smash. So you're like, oh, you hoes got body counts in the thousands? Okay, that's cool. All right, I'm out of the game.
Yep.
Peace out.
You know what's heartbreaking is, I've been going to cons for years. I've been traveling for years, and I'll always meet up with people that I know from maybe the creator community or maybe another community. And obviously there's always a bunch of women there, right? And to be a successful creator as a woman, you have to be somewhat attractive, I feel like.
Agreed.
That goes hand in hand. And I'll meet up, and this has been years, by the way. And I'll hang out with these women, and I know they're with somebody, and they don't give a. They'll take one shot and they'll come sit on my lap and like start sucking on my ear and shit. And I'm like, what are you doing? And they're like, what's your room number? Can I come to your room? And I'm like, dude, this has happened like 7 times in the last 3 years with women that I will never name, but the women that I know, they're in relationships that people know. Everybody in the chat probably knows, and they're doing this shit. And I'm like, damn. And now look, I have smashed half of them. Don't get me wrong now. I'm not a dumbass. I don't wear the chastity thing on my balls. It's free. It's ready to smash them pissers. All right. I don't hold back. But I'm just saying that, like, God, they're all they don't care. And
they don't. You know what though? And more power to them. Because look, I have different Indians. I have a Native American Indian coming up for a gangbang who's married. Shout out to her, by the way.
Yep.
And I have a red dot Indian. So we got the red dot, we got the feather, right? Both of them, I got gangbangs set up when they come back from their respective trips, right? And
Yeah.
my thing is this, Camelot. I truly believe I'm doing a service. You know why? Because somewhere out there is a beta male who pays all of her bills, who does all the right things that society told him to do.
Yep.
And I'm like this, you're a sucker, right?
Yep.
Don't blame me. I don't know the dude. Right? Don't blame me.
Yeah.
Why did you get married? Right?
But
Because
you're doing the service because they're going to stay in their happy relationship.
they're going to stay in their happy relationship.
You gave her 6-month need for getting smashed.
Oh man. Oh, Camelot. These wives, bro, they are literal perfection. They do everything, right?
Yep.
Like single chicks have like all these rules. You know where the rules come from? Because they're still looking for a man to lock down. So they're like, I can't tell him that I like DP. I can't tell him I like to get fisted. I have to pretend. Married women don't have to pretend. They're like, yeah, I got a guy that pays all my bills. That's a cuck. I cucked him. So now I'm out here. And here's the thing: they always have friends, right? You plow these married chicks, and if you dick them down good, they go share their friends.
Yep.
I love it. Look.
Yes, and they're laid back too. So
if they're laid back. They're so great.
Dude, they're afraid of offending their husbands or their boyfriends. I've had girls come over and they've been in an 8-9 year relationship with this guy. And they'll come over and they'll be like, dude, I want you to slam my asshole because my boyfriend doesn't know. Like, I'm scared to tell him. Like, I don't.
Yep.
I
can't tell him my kinks, right?
Right. Yeah. And she's like, so just, I need you to slam it. And I'm just like, all right, I'll just slam it. And I'll slam it. And I do. And like, dude, it's wild as hell. It really, really is. Bill Sotheby says, I agree with you and Drex. If you're not in a relationship, there's no more wrong than hooking up with a married woman. No, you're not cheating. She is. I completely agree. Now, I don't really look for it or anything like I used to. If I did, like, I almost reveled in it because I was an ex-husband and I was kind of jaded and kind of punishing myself in my mind. I don't look for it now, but I also don't. If a girl's sitting there in my bed and she's like got her drawers off and she's like, oh, by the way, I'm married. I'm like, well, oh, by the way, you an oatmeal cream pie now. Hey, Camelot, thanks for all you do. Have been clean from GameStop for 4 years, and now Drexel, where have you been? You have a new channel you're on. Well, I think you're still MGTOW podcast, right?
Yeah. It'll be it'll swap, so it'll change the name. But yeah, I will be back on YouTube next month. So don't worry, everybody. I'll be back.
Magnor says, "Don't get Drex started, bro." That's the whole point. That's why I brought him on, because I want to talk about this shit. It's my favorite thing to talk about.
Well, here's the thing. Well, you and I were talking backstage, and one problem that I have with society, is that nobody wants to tell the truth, right? Like, so you and I are bros. We know what's going on out here in the street. But what happens is, in order to maintain the lie, to get guys to commit to these used up fucking thoughts, they gotta be like, no. What Drex is saying and Camelot saying that's no. I'll tell you what, very few women are actually cheating, and you know what? Paternity fraud is very rare. It's like 4%. And like you and I look at each other like, bruh,
that's bullshit.
That's bullshit. Like, you know what though? Let me tell you, this is for all you married guys out there, right? Married chicks do not use condoms. You have to fight a married woman to use a condom, right?
Dude, look,
fight them. Like, Camelot, bitch, I'm gonna use this condom. We got the mags, we got the mag XLs. Look, this is no lie, Camelot.
Yeah.
Every gangbang I've hosted, the chicks were like, I'll show you what they did. They used condoms almost like to save face, right? Like, I'm a cheating whore, but I'm not that cheating whore. But once they were like really getting into it, they were just kind of like, nah, no condoms. So for those of you guys who don't know, your wives are out here getting raw dogged in hotel rooms by multiple dudes, right?
0%, Drex.
Bruh, they will not use condoms. Ever.
Zero. I have. So when I was really heavy on Tinder, I'm not really much on it anymore because I'm so much shit going on. But I was on Tinder because I had nothing else to do. I was hooking up with girls every other day, and I did that for years. And about 60 to 70% of them were in a relationship. And I will tell you right now, out of every girl, and it's probably over 100. And everybody always gets mad in the chat. They're like, oh, you're bragging. No, like, look, it's a lot of time. There's a lot of time dedicated to this, right? Mm-hmm. So it's easily over 100 probably. And 0% wanted me to use a condom. 0%. They were like, no, bro. Please don't use a condom. Please don't use a condom.
Well, here's the thing though. So I'm gonna give you guys a little bit of game right now, because I know that there's gonna be a simp out there somewhere, right? Let me tell you guys why they don't use condoms. If I smash, or the Smash Bros, right? We got 5 BBC in a room, right? and we're about to run a train on this bitch, right?
Yep.
If condoms are used, that latex smell, right?
Yep.
What happens if her husband, remember, even if she takes a shower, right? She takes a shower, she cleans up, because it's been in the inside. Let's just say Billy Beta goes down on his wife and wants to eat her out that night. He's going to be like, why does it smell like latex? Right? And let me give you guys a pro tip. Let me give a special shout out to my girl. She was actually on my show, Katie. So let me tell you how women cheat. She is a cyclist, right? As a cyclist, when she goes out, Camelot, she leaves the house on the bike, right? With her bag, right? The husband's like, oh yeah, because remember, you know how cyclists are. They're gone for hours, right? Like, oh, I biked, 28, 30 miles today, or how bike, cyclists are, right? So she leaves the house. She bikes. Bruh, do you know where she biked? Either to a fucking BART station, or she just biked over to the hotel, hopped off the bike, walked into the hotel room, took the whole bag, right? That he thought was like, oh, that's just her stuff that she carries on her bike. Yep. No, that's the lingerie. She takes a shower, changes into the lingerie, gets ran through by the team, gets back in the clothes that she was in, puts her biker shorts, right? And her little biker thing, helmet, leaves and goes right back to you like you never fucking knew. You don't know the wiser. I tell guys this. Kemla, I've had women cheaters on my show, right? Yep. And they go ahead and they lay the game out, right? The fucking blue pill simps stay in denial, right? No, that's not true. It's just the people you're dealing with. And then when you ask them to go through their girl's phone, or ladies, go through his phone, right? What do you find? Fuck shit.
This is a good example. Thank you, by the way, Bill Sotheby. You said I wouldn't hook with a woman that if I'm friends with her man. Oh, 100%. But what do they say? What do they say, Drex? When those guys that appear in chat, or they appear in front of you, or they're one of your friends, they're like, well, I don't necessarily think that's true. What do they say? They say, my wife ain't cheating because I'm too good.
Oh yeah.
Well,
let me tell you guys something.
There's a 70% chance.
Let me tell you something.
It doesn't matter how good you are. That has nothing to do with nothing.
Let me tell you how not good you guys are. Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and address the dudes for a second. Camelot, do you want me to tell you what one of the most common things you and I have bumped into with these cheating whores?
What's that?
They always talk about how they never felt beautiful or appreciated, right?
Oh my God, dude. I was about to say that shit.
You know what I'm talking about, right? They're like, they sit there, right? And they're like I never, because remember, I'm gonna let you guys in on a secret. The fucking that you see when you're on the hub, that's what we get. Marital missionaries for the beta male simp cuck mangina. That's what you get. You get marital missionary. These chicks they want to do BDSM. I've taken these chicks out to swing clubs. I'm taking some out to swing club, right? I got some trips. I'm going to Trapeze and Velvet in Miami and Lauderdale, respectively. Yeah. I'm taking a chick out to a swing. There's a swing club. I'm trying to think what the fucking is the name of it, out in Dallas. There's another one in NOLA. There's all these spots, right? These girls want to do the most. And this goes back to what you said, Camelot. They never tell their man what they really want, right? Because here's the thing: if you ask a dude, if a woman, wife or girlfriend, asks their husband what they like, they'll kind of get sly about it, and then let's just say they find the porn stash, right? They check his search history. Yeah. Oh my God, you want big titty Asian bitches, and you want to tie them up? And he's like, well, yeah. Oh my God, you're fucking gross.
Yeah, exactly.
And here's the thing, though: but if he were given the option, right, and she gave him a pass, he would do it, right?
Yep.
Now, with women, they have unlimited options. All they got to do is go on the app and just be like, I'm not getting what I need at home, right?
Yep.
And remember, the court system favors her if there's no fault divorce, right? So she's going to win regardless. Yep. So she comes up. I get hit up, right? Shout out to everybody in my Discord who's seen my DMs, right? Because I got called a fraud for years, right? Drex is a fraud. He's making all this up by simps,
dude,
right?
That has been...
Doesn't it get old?
People call me a virgin for years too.
Yeah. Oh, Drex. So I'm sure you're in it. Yeah. Okay. I'm an incel. Sure, I am.
I get it. Yeah.
Yeah, I get it. And what ends up happening is these chicks come to you, right? You don't come to them; they come to you.
Yep.
And they will tell you, women are far more degenerate than men because when they watch porn, think about this for a second, Camelot. When we watch porn, we're in the position of the dude, right?
Yep.
The guy has one sex organ to just Hulk smash. The woman is the one, doing all holes, hands. She's doing everything, right? So when they take that programming in, these married women are like, I'm so fucking bored in the suburbs. Oh my God, my husband's a data analyst. He's so boring. He wears turtlenecks every day. Oh my God, he never wants to fucking grab me by the throat. He never ties me up. In fact, for those of you who think I'm lying, why did 50 Shades of Grey sell so many copies?
Exactly.
You tell me, Camelot. Why did it sell?
Exactly.
Because isn't that degenerate? Isn't
Yep.
that sexually deviant?
Yep.
Then why did it sell? If BDSM is so horrible, why did 50 Shades sell out? Why does every woman fantasize about that lifestyle and that sexual encounter?
A billionaire beating the hell out of him and blowing all over
Whooping the shit out of her ass.
Yep. That's the whole point. Real quick, Jeezy says if she says she's living with her ex-boyfriend,
that's automatic, fam. That's automatic.
Another gold boy from Jeezy, dude. You already know. Kyle Bogue, new pics of my wife, or it didn't happen. Disco Cobra, the second pink boy, and it's the same guy from before, getting us a quarter of the way to Fight Milk, 1/4. I've always had a decent pool game, even if it wasn't effective at the time. I've used condoms in some situations, but never enjoyed it. I think some might worry about it, but others just don't care. I'm even concerning a vasectomy. I've never even considered it. For some reason, it just feels weird. I'm like, no, it's
bro. It doesn't. Hey, I'll tell you what feels weird. Child support feels weird, fam. Get that vasectomy. Fuck the bullshit. Child support feels weird. Trust me. When you see a deduction on every check, like, damn, again?
No thanks. Hell no. Weeaboo, I'll be honest, I pay for sex, but it's better than paying for divorce.
For real.
That's for damn.
No, but but Camelot, this is why it's so great to have this show with you tonight. The marketplace has forced men's behavior, right? Yep. Either you're a passport bro, you're an incel. If you don't cut the mustard in women's eyes, you hire professionals, you got a doll, or waifu life, right? Yep. As we start breaking down what choices men are making, right? Smash and dash. I told the ladies out there, man, I just did that show with Andrew. I asked the ladies a question. I said, hey, ladies, don't y'all miss masculinity? Don't you miss real men? They miss them. They're like, why don't men want to provide and protect for us? Because you bitches aren't worth providing and protecting. Plain and simple.
Nope.
Why am I going to provide and protect a bitch with sleep? Look, I was at the gym tonight. I saw this girl, pretty girl, came out. I'm going to send you pictures, right? Sleeve tattoo on her leg. What the fuck? You know what I'm saying? Like, and the arm, right? And like, so these women, they got a bunch of tattoos. A lot of them are single moms. A lot of them have body counts in the fucking quadruple digits now, right?
Yep.
So, and you're asking me, and they have smoking issues, drinking issues, drug issues, head meds, and you're telling me I should commit to that. Why? Right? All that baggage, all that craziness. I did a show with Mindset and Sterling Cooper, the porn star, right? And male escort. He talks about, people forget, man, from the male perspective, it has no effect for us. We can smash 1,000 bitches, Genghis Khan style, and be like this, meh, and just go. Come on, have you ever noticed with your posting of clarity? I was talking about this in my live chat before we got on when I was at the gym. I said, every time I bust a nut, do you know what my next thought is? What I need to go do next, right?
Yeah.
It's like this. Bust. And I'm like this. Okay, so what time do I need to do that show at Camelot? Like,
exactly. Yeah.
It's literally like the next thing. Like, I'm not sitting there thinking like, oh, I got to cuddle. And no.
Yeah.
If there is a woman who's worthy of cuddling, yeah, it's not the end of the world, right? Some women you want to spend time with, right? But for the most part, it's like, yeah, bro, I bust a nut. And it's like, oh man, shit. Okay, so I got to think about this. That trip is coming up. What time I got to pick up my daughter? There's all these other things. You cycle through your responsibilities, right? So that's why remember Charlie Sheen said, I don't pay him for sex. I pay him to leave. We don't really want you bitches around. When we bust a nut, please leave. Ladies, just leave, right? Or kick us out. Just be like, all right, well, get out. I'm like, deuces, thank you. That's why we love cougars. Look, I can't speak for some of these dudes. Cougars are fucking great. When I was younger, Camelot, the cougars in particular were down, right? 5 minutes after you talk to them, right? At a lounge bar, jazz clubs. They were like, oh, yeah, whatever. Yeah. So yeah, what's good?
They were
say 2 words, and they were like, let's go.
They know what they want.
They know what they want. So I was like, well, sure, why not? Hell yeah, I'm going to smash a cougar. Yep.
Yeah, and dude, I've made that mistake so many times because I'll be, hanging out with a girl that's 22, 23, and I'll invite them over at night. So they get there at 9, we drink a little bit, we're watching some movies or some shit, and then we're laying in bed at 11, 12, we smash the pissers, and then 1 a.m., 2 a.m., she's falling asleep, I'm kind of falling asleep, and then she falls asleep and she's like laying on me. And then she leaves the next day, and then all of a sudden there's like this weird pair bonding thing. And even though I told them day one I wasn't
You always
interested
tell them.
I always tell them, I'm like, I'm not doing relationships. I don't do that.
I
So
don't do that
don't
shit.
get that idea.
Nope.
They still are like, you asshole. Like
I'm the asshole, right?
You won't hang out with me anymore. And I'm like, I told you this, but I made the mistake of falling asleep, snuggling a little bit, and then now suddenly they're
I've done it. Well, here's the thing, man. Oh, wait, what is this?
It says, I don't have a high sex drive, but I'm learning what I like now with my husband after 12 years together. Love you, Cam. Thank you, Samantha. I appreciate it. And I'm glad things are going well for you now. Me and her had a long conversation on locals. And she was like, yeah, I don't dress up for him and we don't have sex very often. And I'm like, you better get on the job.
You better do that. That's why I said that I have a low sex drive and I don't listen. What was her name? Samantha?
Yeah.
Samantha. This is me trying to save your marriage. 12 years in. Talk to your husband. Tell him to go through his Pornhub history, right? Go through his porn history, right? And figure out what does it for him, and you do exactly fucking that.
Yep.
Okay. Exactly. Not similar. Exactly.
Yep. 100%. Legal Vices, my boy. He says, crap, there's no way I could find to get around a super chat censorship to say what I wanted to say about largely endowed Asian females and bedroom antics. Oh my God. Well, he's in Jeff's in South Korea, right? So that makes a lot of damn sense. Slag Lust with the third orange boy, Drex. Oh, hey, Drex, you know this. What's the best dish soap to use when washing chicken? Gives the extra flavor. Also, any good cornstarch you come across lately? I need my crunchies. What in the Sam Hill? Slag Lust you talking about right now?
No, these black bitches, these goddamn German shepherds are ingesting cornstarch.
Oh, I saw this.
Yeah, they're doing some shit. Yeah. But go ahead and get that lemon detergent, man.
They want to yell at me because I don't season my damn steak enough, and they're eating cornstarch.
Look, they're not human, right? I don't know why. Like, here's the thing: when you break down the genders and all, sex, sexuality, relationship goals, and all that stuff, it's different for each level, right? At the bottom of every fucking totem pole are black bitches. In their mind, their idea is, I'm gonna get that bag and have these kids. That's first. that was you didn't think like, okay, I better pair bond, or I better get a ring on it. Let me get the house for. Nope. That's why there's serial baby mamas. Serial baby mamas looking terrible, overweight. Listen, let me tell you all you females out there. Will y'all please get in the gym? The average American woman's weight is 170.6 pounds. That means you bitches are fat. Stop being fat.
Well, if you think about it this way, Drex, the average height is 5'4", average weight is 170. That's
embarrassing.
That's like 40 pounds, 50 pounds overweight almost.
Yeah. Why are you bitches so big? Okay. Listen, now I'm going to give you an unpopular opinion to help save the dating market, right? I mean, America, for all the guys out there, get your passport. Don't waste your time with these bitches in America or in the West in general. But let me say this. Camelot, we need inflation. We need hyperinflation. I want you bitches to starve to death, okay? I want you to go to the store and go like this. How much for top ramen? $12? Yes, for one pack. I want these bitches to starve, Camelot. I want a jug of milk to cost $100. I want a carton of eggs to cost $50. I want these bitches to starve so that y'all can bring that number down from 170 to about 100. How are you 5'4"? That is a fucking bowling ball. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Camelot, 5'4"? Bro, I'm 6'6", 6'7". 5'4" is short. How do you weigh 170?
Keep in mind, I'm 5'11". I'm 5'11", 185, 190, which is only 20 pounds more than that. And I'm 7 inches taller nearly. Right?
Yep.
So that's the thing, man. That's the thing. It's freaking wild, dude. It's wild. What is this? What is this, Shani? What are you saying in the chat right now? You said anyone want to duck flood with me for my brother who passed away. I didn't. Did you text me this? Because I talk to her every day. I'm sorry to hear that. I feel like you mentioned something, but I don't feel like it was that detrimental. But I love you, Shanny, and I'm thinking about you and your beautiful face. Don't say anything in the chat about your face looking kind of like my ex-wife's, because that has nothing to do with nothing.
Damn.
She's always like, bro, didn't you say? I'm like, no, I didn't say that. Shut up. I was probably drunk. Don't mention that. But yeah, dude, it's wild. It's wild as hell. And I say this, and people get mad at me, and I've kind of had to stray away from it. I've been like, I can't talk about women being overweight in my chat. Now, look, men are also overweight. Like, we are overweight almost to the same degree, but our weight isn't really considered when it comes to the dating market. Now, it is if it's like grossly overweight. But a man that's 220 pounds, 5'11", got a little bit of a tummy on him, but he's got his money together, he's got his charm and his personality together, and he's got shit taken care of. He's still smashing married nines all day.
I gotta say though, Camelot, although I agree with you on that, right? From the biological imperative of the genders, that is accurate. But I gotta say this, guys, I'm gonna be just as hard on you. Will you please get 100%. In fucking shape?
100%.
Will you please stop? Okay, I don't want to see a fucking dad bod for the rest of my life. I want you fuckers jacked. Okay.
Yep.
Because guess what? I truly believe this with all my heart, Camelot. If dudes do better and expect better of women, the women are going to get better, right? Yep. If guys were running around and they weren't just sitting around jerking off to hentai and sitting there playing games and just being on bullshit with dad bod, eating fucking chips all day.
Yep.
Well, guess what? The ladies wouldn't be cheating as much.
Yep.
You see what I'm saying?
That's the thing is we're on easy mode. So, I'm pretty, my chest looks like Arnold's when he was on stage, and it's just genetics. I got big arms. I'm very vascular. I got big shoulders. Okay. And, I'm not like 4% body fat or anything, but I'm, below 12, probably 12, 13% body fat. And so I'm in some pretty decent shape, and it's like being on easy mode because there's not very many men out there. Right. There's 65% of men are also overweight. Me not being in that category puts me already above 70% of dudes. Yep. Also, I have muscle on me and I can kind of just talk my way through things, which puts me in that elite percent. And I have friends, dude, that are in decent shape and they can't even get a match on Tinder. Or if they do, they can't even talk to the girls. They don't even they say, hey, that's how they open their conversation.
Because they're fucking lame. You know what? And let me just say this. Because I've heard guys complaining about whatever. Wait, 6'3", 150? Huh?
Like that's underweight.
No, I'm 6'3", 150. Well, I think they may have been supposed to be 5'3". Damn.
That's a skinny tall guy.
But Kim, here's the thing though. When it comes to like being, these guys who are complaining about, their prospects, right? I'm like, but are you the best version of yourself? Are you really going to the gym like that? Are you really in shape? Right? Did you really work hard and shit? Because here's the thing. You get far more ass by not trying to get ass.
Yep.
Women can sense a thirsty dude, man. They can sift that shit out, right?
Yep.
And likewise, I look at a lot of the actions of your common guy, right? Like your average everyday guy. I look at just how they maneuver. Once again, shout out to Mama Vic, because we talked about this on the phone. She's like, these socially awkward fucking dudes. They're weird. They're fucking weird. It's like,
dude,
bro, here you are. You have, shoot your shot. The woman is right here. She's standing right in front of you, right? What are you going to say? Camelot, the things these guys say and do, I'm like, what the fuck? No wonder your dick is dry.
Dude, I had a friend. Dude, this is a great point to bring up. Real quick, exactly says, why would I bother getting in shape when the reward is 170 pounds and cheating? Yeah, your reward would be just smashing pisses all day with different chicks. That's your reward. But that's not here or there. Thank you, by the way, for your goal boy, my friend. So I have a friend, and I have this friend, and he's in great shape. He's in fantastic shape. He's super funny. I love hanging out with this dude. Love talking to him. He's really witty. He's quick. He's a good dude. But when a woman steps into the room, that shit disintegrates, and he's a different person. And I don't know what it is, but he'll always act really effeminate and gay. He'll be like, "What's up, girl? How you doing, baby? Like, what's up?" And I'm like, "What are you doing? Why are you acting like this?" And like, it's he can't get a girl because of this. But he's such a good, when I'm hanging out with him alone or with a group of guys, he's like kick ass. He's fun. He's just like everybody else. But when a girl walks in, he completely changes and his whole personality completely shifts and he's just awkward and weird and creepy. What is that about? Why can't he just treat them like us?
Is he raised by a single mom?
Yes. 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 Coincidentally, yes, he is. Now that I think about it, you're right. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm so shocked, Camelot. I'm so fucking shocked.
That's so weird.
I can't stand these dudes raised by single moms full of fucking estrogen. They're bitch made. And they act. Here's the thing. Let me give you guys a pro tip real quick for all of you male feminist types. Pro tip. Polarity gets pussies wet and dicks hard, right? Polarity. That's the reason why a masculine woman is disgusting to us, right? We're repulsed by that. Ugh, gross. Likewise,
and it's masculine in the way where, you know, I've hooked up with a lot of girls from my gym and they're in really good shape and they have good shoulders, they got a good upper back, got a little bit of muscle mass on them. And some people falsely say they're masculine. I'm like, no, they don't act that way.
Yeah, it's your behavior.
Masculine. It's being argumentative, it's being annoying, it's being combative in every situation just for the fact that you want to be right. It's pushing. It's people that are capable of getting high profile jobs and keeping them. That's a masculine woman, and those are ones we can't job with because when we want to get home, when I get home, if I had a girl at home and I get home and I've had a freaking rough day, I'm worn out, I've been just going ham as hell, socially exhausted, mentally exhausted, physically exhausted. And I get home and the first thing I'm introduced with is yelling and angry that I didn't do the dishes last night or some bullshit. That's not going to fly with me.
No, absolutely not. And likewise, ladies don't want an effeminate dude. Women don't wake up being like, oh, I sure want a guy who's going, oh, hey, girl. No, they don't ever.
No.
Oh, and for those of you guys out there, this is for all the Californians and woke Portland people. When they are in those relationships, Camelot, they always get cheated on. You ever notice every like effeminate dude you've ever known always got cheated on? You ever notice that?
Oh, dude, I've been the dude that was doing I was the one fucking her. Yep. And her boyfriend was the effeminate one. Yeah, dude. Yeah, 100%. And dude, it's wild as hell. What attracts me the most? Like, is it a masculine man? No. Is it a feminine woman? Maybe. But a woman that is laid back and will just talk to me and she greets me when I get home. Dude, I had this one girl that I was like, I was like, man, I'd marry this girl before she moved away. This is kind of recent. And she would stay at my house a bunch, right? Dude, I would get home, right? I'd go to the gym. I'd be worn out. I helped my friend move one time, and I was sweating bullets. I went to the gym, sweating bullets. I could barely freaking move. I didn't think I could even do the gym. I went and showered at the gym, came home. She was like, hey, I'm at your house. Just letting you know when you get back. And I'm like, yeah. She fed my dogs and shit. I walk in. This girl's in like underwear, and like immediately like takes my hand and goes to like my little living room area and just starts sucking me off. And I'm like, man, I was thinking, I was like, man, I could marry this girl. I could marry this girl.
That's a queen right there.
And she had food and shit made.
Oh my God.
She was watching, but then she moved because I can't commit because I'm a bad person. But yeah, dude, and that's the thing is, do you want a girl suck? Like, and how can girls not understand this? If I get home and the options are A, food's ready, B, food's ready and you suck me off, or C, you're yelling at me, what am I going to choose? So girls that are freaking out on your dude every day and being argumentative, how can you ever think that a man wouldn't? Like, we don't want that, obviously.
Ever.
Polish off.
Here's the thing. What men want, and this is for all the ladies out there, right? Because I remember when Kevin Samuels was on, R.I.P. Kevin Samuels, and these women pretend that they had no clue what men wanted, right? He's like, what do men want? I don't know, Kevin. Come on.
Yep.
All men, this is, for all the ladies out there, every man on earth wants the same thing: sex, silence, sandwich, right? Rub his shoulders, rub his back. Because guess what? Everything that you are supposed to bring to the table as a woman is intangible. Everything the man brings to the table is tangible, right? So I'll give you ladies an example. I'll go out there and work and make all this money. Then I come home and I go like this. Take the money. What are you supposed to do with it? If a real woman, she takes the money I have, which is a finite resource, right? Tangible, goes to the store and buys tangible shit, right? Groceries. She takes that and then with her intangible femininity makes a meal out of it rather than me going to buy it at a fucking store. Oh my God, babe, you nourished me. And in return, this is the thing about all these women who claim that they're not going to cook. Was it, Cardi B's line, I don't cook, I don't clean, I got this ring or whatever, right? By doing these things, guess what the guy is more entitled, more enticed to do, Camelot? Work harder, right?
Yeah.
And guess what? He wants to spoil her more. So he wants to take her on a lavish trip. He wants to give her a spa day. So all of you ignorant, dumb bitches who pretend, I have no clue what men want. Okay, you could actually flip that and go up and just walk up to him and go like this. Tell me what guys don't fucking want. And they're like, oh, they don't like to be nagged. So should you nag him? No. Okay, then don't ever nag him ever, right?
Yep.
Okay. Do you think the guy wants to be in a relationship with no sex? No. Then what should you do? Give him lots of sex? Yes.
It's very simple.
It's very simple.
Men generally, they seek out love through acts of service, and women seek out love through acts of affection.
Yep.
Like a man will take care of you, provide for you, and then a woman will serve. And now look, I know when you say the words directly, it sounds like old worldy, but biologically speaking, men are simple. Like, oh, bro, you have a meal waiting for me. Oh my God. Oh, you just took your panties off, and you're like, dude, like that's it. It is not complicated.
But there's no need to argue. Here's what's crazy. When you have, people talk about, like you said, old world and shit. When you have a defined gender role, and this was crazy. Do you ever notice roles are accepted in everywhere now? We're talking about the modern fucked up culture, right? Roles are accepted everywhere but relationships. Do you notice that?
Yep.
If you go to work and you have a boss and you just go up there and go, no, I'm the boss. They're gonna be like, what? Right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Like everywhere else, there's a defined role, right? All right, this is the sales department. This is HR. Everyone has a defined role. The one place where we allow these roles to get all mismatched and somehow is the most important one, your relationship. What continues to allow a society to fucking thrive. But rather than people accepting that, no, I wear the pants. I'm like, oh my God.
It all boils down to pride for some reason. And if you can find that girl that doesn't have that ego and that pride, it works. It just works. It's very easy, man. It's very simple. Doobie McNasty, by the way, with the third pink boy of the stream. It's been a pink ass night, boys, almost 2 away. The funny thing is that I'm more of a male feminist due to my support of Title IX than these dummies who claim to be male feminists because they don't support females competing with equal competition. But I'm a misogynist. Pander some more. Dude, I 100% agree with you. It is weird how if you are in favor of women's rights now, suddenly you are a bigot or misogynist because you're not in favor of biological men fighting in MMA with biological women. So yeah, I completely agree with you. Dude, it blows my damn mind out the wazoo, to be honest. Is it just me, or is it just me that doesn't want to run through an infinite amount of ladies? Yes. Vermin Infest says 1,000% true. Do better if you're in bad shape and life's a mess. Don't blame anything except yourself. Personally, don't date. Stop giving people the time of day if they haven't earned it. 1,000%. That's the one thing is women do that, and it's socially acceptable still for women to do that. Is to blame other people for their shortcomings. It's not acceptable for me, but for society it is. For men, it still isn't. If you're 400 pounds, you're 400 pounds because you're 400 pounds and you don't care. Get on it, doggone it, and change that shit because no one's going to change it for you. Women may be coddled right now, but men, like the amount that you can experience when you change. I lost 80 pounds when I was like 17, and the things that happened in my life that shaped me, I'm so thankful for. When I was 17, I started eating better and I stopped drinking soda. That was a big one. And I lost 80 pounds in like 4 or 5 months. It was freaking wild. I remember looking in the mirror. I came out of my room one day and I was like playing WoW all night. And I looked in the mirror and I had my shirt off and I was scrawny. And I was like, holy shit. And I remember like yelling out of the door. I opened the door and I'm like, Mom, come here. What's going on? And she's like, yeah, you're real thin, son. And I was like, when did this fucking happen? And all of a sudden, I was texting girls and girls were hanging out. Oh, so-and-so has a crush on you. And I'm like, what? Keep in mind, I was a virgin up at this point, basically. And I started hooking up with girls all the time. And I was like, oh my God, this is wild. And it was just because I lost that weight. Now I got married, gained a little bit of weight, got divorced, got shredded. and then started experiencing this again. But when my wife left, you mentioned this earlier, by the way, taking the bull by the horns and bettering yourself. When my wife left, I was like, I guess I'll start, doing YouTube. I got a job immediately. I left GameStop, got a job making 3 times as much. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to do YouTube. I've always wanted to do it, and there's no reason why I shouldn't do it. And YouTube worked out almost immediately. And I was like, well, shit, I guess I'll start racing professionally. We got a race this Saturday. And I started racing. And I'm like, holy shit, I can just do this. And it's because you just did it, and you have to learn as a man that you have to just go do a thing.
Yeah.
You can't let other people tell you nay or go or encourage you. You got to do the thing. Yeah. Because when it boils down to it, it's all you. It is all you.
Well, do you know what's beautiful about that, though? Do you ever notice once you cut the weight, it wasn't the weight that was the issue. It was the mental side, right? It's the confidence it gave you. Because here's the thing. There's right now, there's going to be a guy who's a fat guy, right? He's a fat dude. He's broke. He's like, he's going, well, Drex, I got no friends. Camelot, girls don't pay attention to me, blah, blah. And I'm like this. Okay, you've gone on this path, right? This plateau for how long, right? And this has been your same result. Okay, why don't you just do this random thing that is the polar opposite, no matter how crazy it sounds? Just do it. But Drex, my muscles may hurt, or what if I fail? Just do it. Just do it. And a guy goes in the gym. Oh God, I don't think I can do it, man. I'm so sore. Just stick with it, right? Just stick with it. You know what not doing it does, right? Okay, I'm just going to stick with it. I'm just going to take your advice. All of a sudden, they start lifting. They start eating right. They cut out the sweets. They cut out the pop. And they're like, dude, I'm fucking shredded. All of a sudden, they go in the gym looking good, bro. And they start getting the affirmations they never got before, right? And all of a sudden, the mental side starts kicking in. They're like,
I can do
this. The difference between success and failure is just simply, I can do this. Because remember, even when you fail, you still succeeded, right? Because you did it. Yeah. The greatest failure you could ever have in life, especially as a man, is apathy, right? Just being like, I'm just going to sit here and not do shit, right? I want to. I thought about it. Maybe. I'm just, it's not for me. And then you know what ends up happening? You become that like 50-year-old guy who's just fucking bitter and talking about, oh, I would have, I could have, I should have. And everyone's like, well, why didn't you? And you don't really have a real excuse. Like nothing like stopped you. No one had a gun to your head. Nothing stopped you. You weren't paralyzed. It's like, so why didn't you, bro? Like, well, there was this girl, and then I let her get away, and then there was this, and it's like, but all you got to do is just do it.
That's all, and that's all that's all those high school football peak guys that meet at the Walmart parking lot every Friday, and they're in their 40s now. The biggest difference is that guy without confidence, when that girl walks up to him or he walks up to her, after he's hit the gym and he's gained that confidence, that one thought process with that one sentence, oh, I can do this. When she walks up, he knows now, oh, I can do this. And he's laid back. He's like, what's up? And it's easy. Instead of being like, I don't really know if I can do this. And then he closes off and gets really awkward. The most important thing you can do is go there and fail, and then go the next day after you fail.
Yep.
That's the most important thing. Failure is going to happen, right? But if you continue to fail, eventually you're going to succeed. My first 30 YouTube videos got like 100 views, maybe, right? My 31st, technically my first after the 31st went live, got 1 million. That was the difference. Don't quit after your first one. And it's when you know you can do it. And then once you do that, suddenly you're like, well, I can go to the gym now. I can do this shit. And then once you do that, you're like, well, this girl has a crush on me. I'm just going to walk up and talk to her and be laid back. And then once you do that, you start realizing that you actually, the only thing stopping you from doing anything you want to do is literally you.
It was just you. It was always you the whole time, right?
Yeah, dude.
And
yes.
Sex, silence, and tacos, sir.
Dude, that's what I'm talking about, Coconut, man. That's me. I feel like I'm part Mexican.
I know, dude. I have that feeling. When it comes to food, bro, I can go ahead and do tacos every day, man. What is this? I look so
proud when you were talking about being scrawny and getting laid. Thank you, Jeezy. I appreciate it.
it's
my
wild,
God.
Man. Oh, there's Samantha again.
There she is. She says, Drex, I'll definitely ask him when he gets home tomorrow offshore. But we do have sex every day when he's home now. Cam, open my eyes. Yeah, because she was telling me that they wouldn't have sex for months. And I'm like, I told her I was very honest, Drex. And look, she's very level-headed because she didn't freak out when I said this. I was like, if you were my wife and we hadn't had sex for 6 months, I would, now this would be me. I would have left you a long time ago. But
Same.
B, I would be cheating on you every day.
Absolutely. And
But
as
I
you
would,
should.
yeah, I would have left a long time ago. And she was like, "Holy shit, are you serious?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm serious." And she's like, "Well, I want to have a talk with my husband." And then now it's been months later, and she's like, "We smash every day." And I'm like, "Thank God, like you understood what's going on here, because men are sexual creatures, especially if we're below the age of 50. We're dumping loads, and even after 50, we're dumping loads. To be honest, so it's
I don't think I'm gonna be honest with you though, Camelot. I was talking about this with my guys, right? And there's that whole notion that men's testosterone and sex drive goes down when they get older. I actually don't believe it. This is no lie, man. I truly believe that sex drive in men only goes down due to female bullshit as they get older, right?
they just get tired of it.
Because you just get tired of it. You're like
Yeah.
here's the thing. So okay, Camelot, do you remember being like 16, 17, 18, 19, 20?
Yeah.
And you're like, "Arr!" you're just like always ready, right?
Yeah, dude.
If a girl sent you a nude, you were ready to go, right? If she told you, "Oh my God, Camelot, here's all the things I'm gonna do to that dick when you get here," and you're like, "Oh yeah, look what she said, man. She said she
Yeah.
can do it." And then when someone asks you that same question now, your enthusiasm is way down. And someone goes, "Why?" It's not because you don't want it. It's just like most of these. Like, I'm gonna be honest with you. Most of you bitches give nothing but starfish sex. You're not any good. You can't take dick. Camelot, if I had $1 for every bitch that I knew who said that they wanted to get pounded out and they can take big dick, they say that until they get pounded out by BBC. And then all of a sudden, oh, wait, stop, hold up. Oh, wait, hold on. Get the lube. It's like, can you just shut the fuck up and take dick? I didn't come here to talk.
Yeah.
I didn't come here to, I came here to smash, right? Just shut the fuck up and take the dick.
I don't know. I gotta be honest. I don't have that problem, but there's some truth to that. There are girls, man, that I was so excited because I had a girl. I was eyeballing at the gym for 6 months, and I'm like, dude, she is a dime. She is beautiful in every way, shape, or form. And she comes over, we party a little bit, and then I'm smashing, and I'm like, this sucks. What is going on? But then and this is true to one thing, because I have a girl I've been hanging out with. Like, I have a regular hookup that's been around for like 4 years now, and we hook up. Yeah.
Hold on. I got to ask this question because I was talking to my homegirl about this, and I've always maintained that there's going to be the longest you can ever last as a dude is 6 months before these bitches want relationships and want more.
Yeah.
How did you make it last 4 years, man? I'm curious.
Laid back girl that's laid back, and we only talk once in a while, but we still, then there'll be months that go by where I don't even talk to her, and then randomly I'll post a story on like Instagram, or she'll post one, and then I'm like, she'll respond to it. I'm like, oh shit, it's my girl. And I'm like, dude, you should come over Friday, and she's like, yeah, sure. And then we hook up, and then she goes, and then she doesn't bother me. She doesn't bother me after.
Oh, Camelot, if I had, oh my God, dude, that's been my dream all my life. Oh, someone had asked that question. I'll be at Nick's house next week, actually.
Well, hell yeah,
this weekend. Yeah, I'll. My daughter's on spring break, so I took I'm gonna be off for like a week, so I'm gonna head over to Nick's. We'll be over there. I think I was gonna say Friday, but I hate going over there Friday. I always look like a zombie because like I've worked, then I gotta grab my daughter and then drive over 2 hours to get there. So we'll go on Saturday. So I'll be over to Nick's on Saturday where I can kind of sleep in Friday, refuel. All that.
I wish I could come. I'll be at the donut operators range, shooting guns and shit and hanging out. I'm going to hang out with Nerdrotic and then gonna shoot some guns.
Shout out to Gary. I love that guy.
Dude, he's such a good. He's like, yeah, dude, when you come, I'll buy you some food. I'm like, well, God, all right, shit.
That's all I didn't say no more, man.
Yeah.
Say no more.
By the way, Cleveland Brown, yes, in chat. By the way, Speedy the Unsilent back home from the gym, leg pressing 8 plates for 6, fully jelly legs. Not the fun kind. It's all behemoth women at the gym right now. Behemoth, dude. I'll be honest. Right now, my gym is filled with women that are on like a little bit of steroids, and they are all jacked, and they look. So how it works with gear, like low dose Anavar, for example, is the prime use for most of these women. It hyper accentuates their femininity to a degree if they're on low dose. When they start transitioning to high dose, it starts changing shit a little. But on low dose, it makes their asses fat, and it makes their legs really cut and fat, and it makes their cores real tight. And they have those two lines. That's why if you're a woman, never do high dose gear, which is steroids. Don't ever do high dose anabolics. Do low dose, because it doesn't take a lot of testosterone increase for these women. Keep in mind, women don't produce almost any testosterone. So when they do, it has a hyper like result to it. Whereas men have to have a lot. Like if a man does anabar, they have to do like 25 milligrams, where a woman only has to do 5 or 2.5.
But
And
Cameron, here's the problem.
they'll
When
go
have women
ham.
ever done anything in moderation?
That's exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like I get what you're saying, but you know women, I know women, and they always do everything to the fucking extreme. Right? That's why when they go get the lips, they
It's
get the duck
bigorexia.
lips, they get the fucking
It's
boobs and
bigorexia.
butts. Like stop.
It's bigorexia. But you can walk up to any my gym's real laid back, but it's a meathead gym. You can walk up to any girl and ask her what her anabar dose is, and they'll be like, "Oh, well, I'm on 5 right now. I'm on 5 for 6 weeks."
I can't do it, man. I'm gonna be honest with you. A, I never took any juice, and B, I don't like that look in women when they're all juiced, and I'll tell you why. The enlarged clit looks weird, and so does the fucking voice.
Well, that's if they're on 25 milligrams or they're on like injection testosterone.
That's true. Yeah,
they're on extremely low, like 2.5 milligrams, 5 milligrams anabar, 8 weeks, maybe twice a year. All it does is hyper their femininity. So when you go to a gym and you see a girl in those Gymshark pants and her ass is fat and it's cut fat, and they have a tight core and their shoulders maybe have a little bit of tone, almost to where you can't even tell, they're on low dose. But when they get to like man stage, I'm not about it. Like when they start
some of them, man. I've seen some shit.
Yeah. So always low dose. Vermin Infested says if you want love, get a dog. If you want disappointed, get a relationship. If you want a better life, then work on yourself and do better. Happiness isn't gained in another person. I agree. Vermin Infested 1000% exactly says none of this advice helps short dudes. Oh fuck, that sucks, man. Yeah, you fucked. Crazed Corgi. I married a piña. Cooks, cleans, washes the truck. Thank you. Slaglus said, here's 2 for the Goomba. I forgot about that stream. I was real drunk. Nina said my dick looked like a Goomba. And I was like, thank you, Nina. Fantasy Reading says, we know so much about Drex, but what is it you do for a living? Unless it's just smashing 304s. Drex, what do you do for a living?
So, I mean, like I said, I tell everybody, I'm in the travel industry. I'm literally everywhere, right? I'm actually going to head out to do a fundraiser soon. I got to go get jacked. I'm gonna go pull a fucking 757 aircraft for a fundraiser. It's gonna be fun. I've done it before in the past. You know, you're on a team and all that shit. It's actually a great time. So I'll be out in Atlanta. That is May. I think it's May 3rd. It's like a Tuesday, Wednesday. So May 3rd, I'll be out in Atlanta, hanging out and pulling a fucking airplane.
Dude, I always get. I think almost every time I ever went to downtown Atlanta, I get robbed,
bro. Atlanta's just bad, period. Like,
it's not like it's never violent. It's like almost like a nice robbing where they're like, like they'll pull out their little pocket knife and they're like, hey man, I need you change. And I'm like, you know what? Here's the change. And then they'll put their pocket knife up after I hand it to them. And they're like, thank you. And I'm like, oh, they even said thanks. So it's kind of like a nice mugging, but I don't know what would happen. I don't know what the knife's about. They probably could have just asked me without the knife and I would have probably done the same thing. I don't know what the knife added to the situation. They always pull out a little pocket knife. Give me the change, bro. And I'm like, all right, here's your change. And they're like, all right, thank you, sir. I appreciate that. And I'm like, what? God bless you. And I'm like, what? Okay. I mean, you had a knife, but that's fine. Whatever. It's fine. But yeah, dude. Do you ever see yourself in a long-term relationship?
No, absolutely not.
Agreed.
Absolutely not.
Agreed.
my parents' marriage, and they're still married, on paper, right?
Yeah.
My parents' marriage turned me off of marriage from as far back as I can remember. And like I said, I think there was a culmination of things that led me down a certain path, right? Like, okay, and there's a flip side to the coin. Someone who grows up in a family where like, the husband and the wife, i.e. their mom and dad, are like all like loving and they show like affection toward each other. It's like an imprint, right? And if that is reinforced through other relationships, they see that and they crave it, right? Like, oh, I crave the family thing, the relationship, the bond. Because I didn't see that growing up, right?
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, I mean, I saw it outside my house and I was kind of like, okay, so I guess, Hollywood movies and the occasional couple. But being born in 82, you remember there's a certain period where you start seeing the divorces start to creep. Remember that? Like in the 90s? Like, because if you ask a kid from like the 60s or 70s, they're like, yeah, divorce was pretty stigmatized, right? We didn't really see it. But if you grew up in the 80s and 90s, once the 90s started hitting, you started seeing these divorces. Into the 2000s, people's parents that you knew forever, suddenly they're divorced. And you're like, shit. And then by
It's
that
weird.
time,
Yeah.
it was weird, right? And I was like, okay, like, and I remember thinking like, because like I said, I never wanted to have kids. I never wanted to get married because I was just like, yeah, you know what? My main thing was it was a trust thing. Camelot, I could always trust myself, right? I never cheated. I always got accused of cheating, but I never cheated, right? I knew I was going to be faithful. I know I'm going to be able to do my fucking job, which is provide and protect. I can't trust these hoes, especially once you're in the streets. Once you've smashed enough chicks who are cheating, and then people are like, so Drex, you're gonna get date and get married, bro. You know what I mean? Fucking random. We ran trains on bitches.
Yeah.
And you want me to like roll the dice? Remember, especially Camelot, it's the laws. I've been to family court, fam. There is zero fun in family court, right?
No. Yeah.
And I wasn't even married. So I'm thinking to myself, if I were married and you start talking about dividing assets and taking my shit, I'd be like, yeah, you know what? I'm good. No.
Yeah, dude, there's just no benefit. And the positive side to not fully committing,
Mhm.
and I know that sounds terrible to a lot of the women in the chat because that's what women want. Men hold the keys to the relationship, women hold the keys to sex. So if a man, the pro for you not committing is when that woman that you may like prefer over the other ones, when she starts hooking up with other dudes, or are being distant, it doesn't bother you because you were never committed in the first place.
Yep.
Because it's going to happen. It's going to happen.
I assume this is no lie, Camelot. I actually assume that all of them ain't shit. And it's not because that's true. It's because if you start with that barometer of, these bitches ain't shit. If that's your starting point, you go like this. Well, what can happen to me, right? I can't lose my money. I can't lose my house. I can't lose any assets I've accrued. I can't lose shit, right? The moment, look, you saw what happened to Tiger Woods, right? He's getting sued for 30 million on a girl, not a wife, a girlfriend. And yet, I'm looking at you ladies out there. I'm going like this. So you want me to sign up for this, right? We're gonna get to a point where a breakup means you can come after my shit. Nah, I'm good. So we're gonna cut that out, right? So let's go down the line, Camelot. Marriage is fucked, right? The no fault divorce ruined marriage. Women's open hypergamy. Y'all got high body counts. You can't pay her bond. Women are broken. They're done. It's over. Okay, that's done. 0.1% of Western women are marriage material. That being said, Camelot, at the end of the day, it's still binary, right? 50-50. She could maintain what she is, right? As in a good woman, who's going to be faithful and provide for your children and be a good mother. Or she could not, right? There really is no in between. Either she's going to stay what she is when you married her, or she's going to flip and become a fucking feminist, right? I want to go get a career. What? I'm equal to you. What? I'm tired of these kids. What? I want to have an open relationship. That's how we agreed. See, you wind up in this. What? Like, here's the thing. You as the man have no protection, right?
No, absolutely not.
No, so women are out here saying, well, why don't you guys commit? And here's the thing. This is what I tell women. Take the exact system that men are destroyed over, right? And then just reverse the genders and ask women, would you sign this contract? Oh, also, don't forget about this, Camelot. If you have kids, at any point, Thanos snap. She can take the fucking kids away, but you're going to pay for them, but you don't get to be with them.
And
great deal, right?
Let's talk about a guarantee, by the way. Blue Gundam, thank you for your tip, by the way. The guarantee is the most dangerous thing. Real quick, Too High Strung says, is your streaming schedule changing now that you're racing? I think I was happier before I found all this stuff out beforehand. Yes, that's how that works, dude. When you find it's like, even I wish I could have not even known that she cheated, right? My streaming schedule will not change. Okay, it will not change. But I will, when on times I do race, I will stream on Thursday. So I'll do it Wednesday and Thursday. Thank you, Too High Strung. I'm sorry I missed that earlier. But let's talk about the guarantee that Drex was like leaning into here. He says the woman can take away the kids at any moment. The guarantee is if you just so happen to marry a woman that already has a kid or two, and you're married for 10 years and they are now your kids, you love them more than anything, you die for them. When she leaves, you are royally fucked and you will never see those kids again.
Never. Oh,
You
here's the
have
thing though.
absolutely no rights to those children.
There was a guy who adopted the kid, right? Now, obviously, this is for all you guys out there. Please do not ever marry a single mother. Single mothers are used for community property only. That's it. For all single moms out there, you are not girlfriend material. You aren't wife material. You are late night bust down material. Okay. We need to stop giving these bitches hope. I'm tired of women having hope. Camelot. I know I'm a single mom. I know I'm overweight. I know I'm divorced. I know I got, fucking credit card debt. I know, but I deserve it. No, you don't deserve shit. Okay. You deserve to get skeeted on your fucking face and then leave. Okay. We need to stop giving these hoes hope. Now, when it comes to roles, though, guarantees, right? Camelot, do you know that as a man, you have to uphold your end of the bargain by law?
Yeah.
By law. So for you ladies out there, let me break this shit down. If a man gets married to you today, a man can't ever say, you know what? I don't feel like going to work anymore and doing shit. And if there's an intruder, I'm not going to, protect you or the family. He's not even allowed to. But watch this. A woman gets married today. And she goes like this. I know remember when we were dating and we were engaged and I sucked your dick every day and we were fucking every day and I made you meals every day and I took care of the kids. I don't feel like doing any of that anymore. What can you do, Camelot?
Nothing.
Nothing.
Yeah.
And guess what? If you say, fuck this, I want out, you flip the contract, right? We agreed that this is what it was. These were our roles. I want out. Oh, that's cool. Go ahead. Uh-oh. No fault
Now you
divorce.
lose everything.
You lose everything. Congrats. Yep. So, ladies in the chat, tell me why a man should get married.
Dude, I've said this so many times.
There is no benefit.
I've said
None.
this so many times on my
Zero.
streams. Yeah. So there is no pro to getting married not for men. Not right now.
None. Zero.
Because 90% of court proceedings in America favor women, and it doesn't matter the evidence. There is, and a lot of people misconstrue this because they don't actually understand. Infidelity clauses, they're not actually a thing. Prenuptial agreements are hardly ever recognized. So think about this for a moment. You could come home right now as a man. Okay. You could walk into your house. You unplug your house with your key. You walk upstairs. You hear something. Your door's closed. Why is your bedroom door closed? That's weird. You walk in. You're home 2 hours early because you want to surprise your girlfriend or your wife. And you open the door, and she is getting just doggy style by some guy. And of course, you freak out. He runs out. You're chasing him. He gets in his car. He takes off. And you're like, oh, well, of course I'm done, right? No bullshit. Fuck this. I'm done. We're getting a divorce right now. Guess what? Doesn't matter if she was getting doggy styled in your house. Doesn't matter. You're still losing everything. Because infidelity clauses aren't actually a thing in almost any place. It's actually almost never considered. There's no such thing.
You're a cuck.
A lot of men,
marriage equals cuckoldry.
A lot of men think that too. They'll be like, well, she cheated on me. That means I win the divorce. No, it doesn't.
What does no fault divorce means? It means it's no one's fault.
Yeah.
I.e., it means it's your fault. It's your fault, exactly. Right? So, and this is the thing about when you're within a marriage, right? I've talked to guys who have been married and divorced. I've talked to guys who are happily married, right? Even happily married guys, right? This is no knock on them. They still have to put up with women, right? The nagging, the bitching, the complaining, the random emotional crazy moments where, think about it, the guy is always the rock. You ever notice that, Camelot? Right. He's always like this. Can you bitches just be normal? I know you can't. You're incapable, right? Every time there's a voice in your head that says to say or do something crazy, I need you women to step outside and just walk away and go, I'm not going to do or say whatever my brain just told me to do or say, right?
Yeah.
They can't. Right? They can't. They have to say or do something crazy. Like, Camelot, I started thinking about a lot of women's relationships, right? And I was like, they actually self-sabotage every relationship. Every single one. I was like, look, think about it. They ruined everything. They ruined the school system. They ruined the workforce. They ruined movies. They ruined games. They ruined the church. Everything they touched, they ruined the Boy Scouts. If they touched it, they ruined it, right? And it's not their fault. It really isn't. They were allowed to ruin it. Whoever enables them to do it, because here's the thing. You remember that old story about the scorpion and the frog, right?
Yep.
Well, you can't be mad. You can't be mad, right? Like that's the Scorpion. The Scorpion's like, well, hey,
It's
bro,
his
that's my
nature.
nature. What
It's
fuck you
his
want me to
nature.
do? It's what I do. It's like, but now we're both sinking. We're both gonna die. Sorry. That's what women do. Like, look, the same women who are crying that they can't get a man and they're miserable and they're alone and they're single and they're like 46 years old. It's like, so let me ask you this. This is for all the women out there. When you hit the market at 18 years old, when you graduated high school, went like this and flipped the cap and gown, tell me every choice you made after that. Do you know what it was, Camelot? Getting drunk, getting high, getting ran through, dating guys, tossing guys away, blah, 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 cheating, talking about how men ain't shit, being a feminist, going to college, getting tattooed. Maybe they got married, maybe they became a single mom, maybe they got divorced, blah, blah, blah. Maybe they cucked their husband like what's her face? Jada did to Will, right? They had entanglements. They wake up one day and they blame men for everything, right? Nothing's their fault. When you ask a woman why she cheated, it's always his fault, right? If the man cheats, it's his fault.
100%.
The woman cheats, it's his fault. It's like, wait a minute, how is everything his fault? So
Well,
you're with somebody who won't take accountability ever.
The woman, what will she say? Well, I cheated because he worked too much and he didn't show me enough attention.
He didn't show me enough attention.
Right.
He didn't do this for me. But when a guy says that same thing, he's the worst guy ever, right?
Yep.
You cheated on your pregnant wife. If a guy goes like this, well, hey man, a brother's got needs, you know what I'm saying? And I mean, hey, I'm not really into the whole big belly thing, so I just want to go ahead and get my dick wet. He's considered the worst guy ever, right?
Yep.
But if a man is like in the hospital, right? He was in a car accident or something, he's fucked up. She can cheat on him. She can go get filed for divorce. And everyone's just like, I mean, you know, what do you want us to say? It is what it is.
It's so often that there's a term for it in the military called being a Jody.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So like
I got lots of military bros.
Yeah.
Yep.
When you're in the military, your girlfriend or wife is having sex with other men. It's
absolutely. It is dude. I heard it's a 99% infidelity rate, and they only allow that 1% because they go for the sake of argument. Right?
Yeah.
They literally said, not because we believe it's 1% or we can prove it. We just want to say it's not one, because if you say it's 100%, these young guys are fed the worst kinds of women near the bases, strippers, prostitutes, single moms, and then they get with these women. And then guess what? You become a wage slave, right? A debt slave for the rest of your natural fucking life. That's what they do to military. That's what they do to servicemen. I know lots of guys in the service. My brother's in the service. He has no kids though. And when I see this shit happen to guys, man, it breaks my heart because I'm like, bro, not only did no one tell you this, no one cared.
And if you look let's say you look at it objectively. If you were, let's say you, Drex, you were in a relationship, you're married, and your wife goes overseas for 2 years with no contact, like, what are you going to do? And it's so the infidelity rate being 99% kind of makes sense. Like, you're asking people to be celibate in a time where that's not a thing. So, if I was you, my advice to you, because it's hard to 100% blame women in this scenario because, I mean, you're gone. So my advice to you would be, don't get married if you're in the military.
Absolutely not.
Absolutely.
Under any circumstance. But here's the thing, they give you get more money by being married. That's why dudes do it. It ain't worth it.
Yeah,
these guys are E2s.
What is it called? It's called you get more housing allowance and more.
Yeah, you get benefits.
Yeah.
And by the way, for those of you who don't know, any guy who's ever served in the military knows this is true. The women know all of your benefits better than you do. They know every detail of your benefit.
Yeah.
They know everything. You're like, wait, I get what? Or I'm entitled to. They know every line, bro. You are a fucking target. You're a wallet. You are a pet wallet. I don't want any of my men in the military. Oh, cops, high infidelity rate. High infidelity, right? These guys are getting you, Camelot. How can someone say that they care about you, right? This is for all of, the boomer parents and shit. How can you say you care about your child and yet you don't give them this game? You don't give them this knowledge. I could never sit there. If I had a son, right? I wouldn't sit there and just let him just get served up to the fucking meat grinder. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't have the heart to do it. And I have a daughter, and I would say the same thing to her. I go, look, this is how these dudes are. I'm not going to let my daughter believe that guys are somehow like Oh, no, guys, any guy that tells you that he loves you, he really means it. No, he doesn't. No, he doesn't.
No,
If a guy
no.
didn't put a ring on it and put you in the
Especially not,
house and provide for you,
especially not at 16, 17, 18.
16, 17, no, he doesn't. No, he doesn't.
No,
Yep.
so I have a good story to go along with this real quick. Carrie Davison says, been telling Camelot for a while to keep preaching his message. Women have messed up things for far too long. Carrie knows too much.
Yep.
She's too experienced. It's the fourth pink boy, one away from a pink ass knot. Thank you so much, Carrie. So one time, Drex, and you've probably heard this story once before. I was hooking up with this girl. She was a Japanese girl, and she had been living in America, I think, most of her life, but she was Japanese. Her parents were both Japanese, and she was getting an engineering degree at the college next to my house. And she's 19 years old. So I got to put it out there. She's real young. And I'm 28. So I guess it's not too bad, but it's pretty bad. So I'm hanging out with this girl, and she's really laid back for like a young girl. I'm like, well, damn, she's really laid back and cool. So we're hanging out, and we hang out a few times. And then like the third time we hang out, she says her boyfriend is like, I knew this. Okay. And she's like, oh, her boyfriend's freaking out. And I'm like, what do you mean he's freaking out? She's like, oh, he's worried that I'm doing something. And I'm like, oh, okay. And then all of a sudden my doorbell rings like an hour later, and her boyfriend's at my house. And I'm like, hey, what's up? And I bring him up to my like old game room at the time, back in my old house. And she's sitting on the edge of the couch on the other side of the room on her phone, not paying attention. She's hiding basically. And he's sitting beside me in tears saying, I'm so worried she's going to cheat on me. And he's 19 too, by the way. And he's like a white guy. And I was telling this dude, I was like, look, dude, this is not your first relationship. Okay. I said, this is your first relationship, but it's not going to be your last. Don't get so caught up in this shit. You're 19 years old, dude. Because I just dumped a load in this chick. And I think back to this now, and I'm like, man, I'm an evil person. I felt real bad for this for a while because he showed up and he was in tears, man. And dude, it was brutal. It was absolutely brutal.
It wasn't brutal enough.
They're still together, by the way, and they're like 25 now.
Oh, well, he's going to be ruined. He's going to be ruined later.
Yeah. Bill Southerly says, I don't know about the scorpion and the frog, but a wise man, Drex, told me a story about the Binger and the German Shepherd. The Binger got bit by the German Shepherd. It was just its nature. Real quick, I want you to tell people what a German Shepherd is. Your definition of a German Shepherd while I go pee, because I've been drinking a little bit and I'm about to piss my pants. So go ahead, Drex.
So for those you don't know, the term actually comes from Minister Jap. Shout out to Minister Jap, by the way. Go watch his channel. He has to like move a lot of his shit off of YouTube because he was too savage. But Minister Jap came with the term because in the civil rights era, both here and other countries in the world, like if you go to like when Muhammad Ali fought George Foreman, when the French came to Zaire, they of course used German Shepherds, which were the attack dogs against black folks, in particular black men. So by modern standards, who's the one who attacks black men and tries to destroy them all day, every day? It's these ratchet ass black bitches, right? Thus the term German Shepherd. They are the worst creatures that have ever walked the face of the earth, as I've said. For everyone in the chat who's ever had an encounter with a black woman, I know it was not positive because they don't do anything positive in life. The only thing that they can do is destruction, be accusatory, be derogatory, be ratchet. They're everywhere you look. They're fucking twerking. And I mean, their dating options are slim to nil, right? And we talk about dating. Camelot and I are sitting here, and the beauty of talking about dating is that passport bros is the natural byproduct of the collapse of the dating market in the West. So for those of you ladies who know, or especially the gentlemen who know, passport bros will be the future. Guys are going to look around. They're going to see their options here, and they're going to see the laws here. And for those of you who don't know, I just had a Discord live chat earlier today talking with my guys in the UK. It is now, you can get punished and spend 7 years behind bars if you are a man talking about sexual conquest in the presence of a woman. The laws are so misandrous, right? That guys go, you know what, fuck it, I'm out. And they become passport bros, right? Look, I want you to think about this for a second, Camelot. Imagine growing up in the Black community and you are faced with the worst, I hate to even say woman, the worst female humans ever shown on this earth. The highest abortions, highest STDs, 82% of them are overweight. Of those 82%, 80% are fucking obese, right? Serial baby mamas. Their hygiene is terrible. Their vaginal hygiene is worse. They look like men. They sound like men. They act like men. They have the highest rate of crime. They send the most children off to prison. And they're telling you, your black ass ain't shit. And you sit there, you're like, wait a minute. Wait a minute. You're saying I ain't shit. And you're looking around with all of her little bastard, little nigglets running around the fucking the ghetto. And you're like, oh, you're looking at them, right? You're like, you're calling me an ain't shit dude? And then something hits you, right? Your phone rings. And obviously it's me, right? I'm calling you up. And this is Black Camelot. Yo, Black Camelot, what's up, man? What's good, fam? Yo, look, man. What are you up to? You're like, yo, man, I'm sitting here dealing with fucking Shaniqua, Lakeisha, fried chickenisha. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, these bitches out here give me a headache, man. Yeah, this bitch went ahead and went upside my head with an ironing board and shit. And you're sitting there like, I'm like, yo, Black Camelot, you want to come out with me, man? You ever been to Sasua in DR, right? You ever been to Las Serenas? You ever been to Brazil? And I take you with me, right? I take you to Asia. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You want to go to Phuket? I take you to these spots. And then when you come back, right, after you've experienced femininity for the first time, women who didn't look like they ate 17 water buffaloes at one time, right? All of a sudden you're around women who, when you walk past them, you smell a feminine, light fragrance. You don't smell fried chicken grease, right? And then all of a sudden it hits you. You're like, I can do better. I deserve better. You see what I'm saying? I don't deserve to be mistreated like this. And that's what Passport Bros is about, because these brothers have finally gone overseas, Camelot. This is no lie, man. A lot of Black dudes, especially if they grew up in low-income environments with ratchet-ass ghetto single moms, like most of them do. And, you know, I mean, the ones that survive, because usually they abort the Black babies, the males. They abort the males. And when you are in these environments, right, you say to yourself, so what are my dating options? If you're not a Pookie and Ray Ray, you're not a fucking thug, right? Bro, you don't get chosen, right? You're told, imagine being told all your life, right? You're going to school to be a fucking network engineer, right? You're going for computer science, and maybe, you know, you're nerdy, right? By their standard, right? You're a square, you're a lame, whatever. That's what they tell you. And you're thinking like, well, I guess I ain't shit. Because, you know, your self-esteem is beat. If all you've been told since the moment you were born is you ain't shit, right? You just assume, I guess I ain't shit. And for the first time when you go overseas, you're treated with respect. You're treated with dignity, with honor, right? With femininity. You're greeted with femininity, right? Like you said earlier, rubbing your back. Yeah. Look, when someone hands you a cold beer, look, in Asia, right? They take off your shoes, rub your feet. There are men that, this is no bullshit. A guy can look at a woman who's a 6, and he could be a millionaire. He'll be like, I'm putting a ring on that. Because it's how he's being treated, right?
Yep.
She only needs to be hot enough. This is where women get confused. Men don't look for 10s. We really don't. Because we all know they can't fuck and they have no value. Because they've never been forced to do anything other than look hot.
Yep.
So a guy will lower the visual beauty standard for the intangible things, right? Is she nice? Is she sweet? Is she funny? Does she have a sense of humor? Black women are incapable of having any of these things, okay? Because they are demon spawn. So when you encounter them, the only thing you're going to be left with is what? Bullet wounds and problems and drama. That's why whenever you go on YouTube and you type in twerking at, it's always these bitches, isn't it? Twerking at funeral, Black bitches. Twerking on the freeway, Black bitches, right? Twerking at a Walmart, Black bitches. Twerking at Chuck E. Cheese, Black bitches. It's like, can you German Shepherds just stop twerking, right? Can you stop deleting people? Can you stop sending out your little beta simp army to delete people? Camelot, we're here to talk about dating and relationships. The financial reality that we all face right now, right? It doesn't matter how much money you got. We all face the same reality, which is the cost of everything goes up, right? It doesn't matter if you're rich or poor or in between. If the cost of everything goes up, we have to make hard choices, don't we, Camelot? The cost to raise a child is over $300,000, right?
Jesus. Yep.
Okay. I was talking to Legal Mindset. He said in Asia, out in Korea, it's 100 grand per year. That's 1.8 million, bro.
Jesus.
Could you imagine? Like someone says, hey, Camelot, you want to have kids? Yeah, man, I want to start a family. 1.8 million. Hold up. So I'm never going to see this kid. And if it were American laws, right? You'd be thinking to yourself, she can take this kid at any point. I'll never see this kid again. She can Me Too me. I'm gonna have to deal with her bullshit. I can get cucked, right? I can be like Will Smith crying at the table, right?
Yep.
I was having entanglements, pop the dick out of her mouth. And you're sitting there looking like, when I signed up for this contract, this isn't what I had in mind, right? Why the fuck would a man sign that shit, right?
Never.
Because the financial and the legal aspects have now converged. Because think about this, Camelot. Why do you prefer to just smash bitches rather than even date, right? We're not gonna talk about marriage, just dating. Financially and emotionally, you take a hit, right? Like, watch this. I was talking to Virgin Anna about this, and I said, Anna, you are a high-value woman, but listen carefully from the male perspective, right? Resources, right? That's what we provide those tangibles. Hey, Camelot, are you gonna have more or less time with your friends if you're dating?
Less.
Are you gonna have more money in your pocket or less money in your pocket?
Less.
Are you gonna have more options to fuck bitches? We're talking about if you're faithful, more options to fuck bitches when they get out of pocket, or less?
Less.
Yeah. So you're gonna be committed to one vagina who at any time can put you in the doghouse, right? Use sex as a weapon. You've seen that happen, right? To your buddies.
Yeah.
And you're like, wait a minute. So now she's dangling the sex carrot over you, and you're like, why is this a good thing? Right? What are you getting out of that? Like, think about it. Think about it. These women can't cook. These bitches can't boil water. So let me get this straight. You want me to pay money, and I lose time. I lose money. I lose time with my hobbies. I lose time with my friends. What am I gaining? So Camelot, what does the man gain out of just dating? We're not going to talk about marriage, just dating. What does he gain from dating?
It depends on the woman, really, but nothing.
We're saying the average woman, like the average chick. We're not talking about like the unicorn, right? The average woman, what is it that you're going to gain?
Occasional sex.
That's the most, right? Because she's not going to cook for you.
Yeah.
She's not going to clean for you. She's not going to be nice to you, right? She's always bitching and complaining. Emotional manipulation, gaslighting, all that. Now, let me ask you this, Camelot. What sounds better? All of that, or hopping behind the wheel of that car, hitting that fucking burning that clutch, and you shift into first gear and you just peel the fuck out, right?
Yeah.
Doing your hobbies, right? And when you get home, all of your shit is exactly where you fucking left it, isn't it?
Yes.
And you're like, oh my God, look. That's where that drink was, right? Hey,
That's
Camelot, check this out. You woke up on a Sunday, right? You want to play some video games in your fucking boxers and just do nothing, right? What's that, Camelot? You don't hear no nagging, do you? You don't hear this. Yip, 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 yip. You don't hear that shit, do you? You don't hear anyone trying to dictate how you're supposed to spend your fucking time and money, do you? Right?
No. And that's
have you talked to married guys?
Yeah, dude.
She's always in his. You can't spend money on that. You wasted too much time doing this. Bitch, what the fuck are you doing?
So when I used to be married back in the day, I would go to the Christmas gatherings, right? As you would do. And I remember that all the sister-in-laws, would sit there and they would talk about how, well, so-and-so wanted to spend his money on some new tires, or so-and-so wanted to spend his money on some new mods for his car. But I told him that was not okay. Or he wanted to buy the new Xbox. That was not okay.
Not okay.
And keep in mind, the woman saying this is the stay-at-home wife that doesn't even make the income. If there was that, and this is something I'm very, very very passionate about. There will never be a person, and I'm talking genderless, especially, but women, of course. There will never be a person in my life that tells me how to spend my money. That I
never, ever. Or my time, because my time is just as fucking valuable. So here's the thing, Camelot. I'm glad you said that, because there's a flip side to that, and you know what the flip side is? She seems very invested in spend that time and that money on wherever the fuck she wants, doesn't she?
Yeah.
Oh, hey, honey, you got more clothes. Ask any guy who's married. Walk into his wife's closet. She's got this many clothes. He's got that many clothes, right? Why are you buying this shit? Oh, I just decided to buy. If you added up all of the clothes, perfumes, random shit on Amazon, all of that shit costs 10 times more than that new Xbox, right?
Yep.
Really? You're stressing over a $500 video game console, but yet you bought 600 pairs of shoes, 500 outfits. Look, hair and nails, Camelot. Just to go get your hair, nails, feet, and all that shit done, right? Cosmetic shit. Right? Have you ever looked at how much beauty products cost?
Shit. It's hundreds. And
Hundreds.
Yeah.
Right? And they use it up when a man buys a video game console. Hold on.
Yeah. And, you know, speaking of that,
My regular Nintendo this is bought one time for the rest of my life, right? Maybe a guy buys a second one because it breaks, right?
Yep.
For his life, Camelot.
Yeah.
I got my old Super Nintendo. I think my Wii is somewhere. I got forever, right? You buy one, it's forever.
Yeah.
These women are cycling through all of these resources day after day, week after week, year after year. And yet you're mad because he wants to buy a motorcycle?
Yeah, dude. And the thing
With his money?
remember that
Fuck
story I
you.
was just saying?
Yep.
Is the lady was just bragging about her new clothes that she got or her new bag that she got, and she was showing all the other like female cousins and female sisters. But then the guy that makes like 160 grand a year, because she also brags about that, how much he makes, she said he couldn't buy new wheels for his truck.
Yeah.
He
Isn't
wasn't
that
allowed
sad?
to.
Well, actually, no, Cameron, I'm gonna tell you what the worst part is, though, man. I'll tell you, it's not her saying it. It's not even him accepting it, right? It's the look on his face. Like he looks defeated, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I can watch this. Hey, Camelot. Hey, bro. Hey, man. You want to go out here to Matt Surrey with me? You want to go do X, Y, Z? Well, yeah, I gotta ask the what. You gotta ask for permission. You're the breadwinner, and you have to. Because why? Because she has the power of the fucking state to destroy you and take your shit. Because without that guy would be like this. Hell yeah, I'm gonna go out with you. But because she knows that, and he knows it. Never, bro. And she can have relationships with other men like me. And what the fuck are you gonna do about it? Nothing.
Men don't know their worth, Drex.
They don't.
They hold the keys to marriage.
Yep.
Women hold the keys to sex, and we get confused on this.
They do.
Men at any moment could just not allow the marriage to happen. But
That's
women,
right.
The reason they won't marry, you'll ever notice that you'll notice this a lot too, and I'm sure you've freaking seen it 100 times, where you'll be hanging out with a girl, hooking up with her every now and then, once every other month, or maybe once a week, and then a month, 2 months, 3 months, 6 months in, she's like, we need to get married. Why does she want to get married so bad? It doesn't change anything, right? It's because she understands that she has the power of the state over you, and she could destroy you at any moment. That's 100%.
You know what I love, Camelot? I love telling these bitches to their face why it won't happen. Right?
Exactly. Yep.
The thing, you can ask any woman who knows me. I tell them to their face. This is not like, I bet you Drex isn't like this, off camera. Okay, keep believing that. Off camera, Camelot, I will to her face. No. Why, Drex? Why can't we be more? This is why. Well, I know, but nothing.
But I'm not that kind of girl.
I'm not that. I would never do that.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
They
every
all
woman
say
ever.
that shit.
I would never. I would never divorce grape you. I would never use your kid as a pawn against you. Sure, you would. Right.
Yeah. And
sure you would.
There's a percentage of women that are telling the truth, but it's a very low percentage. And I'm not trying to play the lottery with some bitch. Flugy says, spent the last year losing 70 pounds by the run of my first marathon, half marathon, staying consistent, disciplined, and motivated to achieve. Congratulations, dude. I'm proud of you. Ryu Carito says, as a Marine, I can back everything Drex is saying. Also, don't forget, in the movie Independence Day, Will Smith is a Marine pilot that married a stripper.
Yeah, you know what, though? What do you think about that, though, right there, though, Camelot?
Well, what is it? Cecil did that. He married a stripper, yeah?
That's not smart.
He'll tell you immediately that was the worst mistake he's ever made.
Bro, that is a terrible decision. Look, you know what's sad? I'm gonna tell you the saddest thing going forward for a lot of guys, man. The OnlyFans / prostitution skeletons in these bitches' closets. Because so this is what I mean by that, Camelot. When I was coming up, this is before the internet, before all that shit, right?
Mm-hmm.
a woman can only do so much dirt, right? Realistically, you see what I'm saying? Oh, she couldn't rack up 100 bodies because it just wasn't possible back then. You see what I'm saying?
Yep.
Without dating apps, without the internet, because remember, what that changed, it allowed a woman who's sitting here in random suburb, right, to drive over to some random guy's place or a fraternity and get ran through and then drive right back. No one knew, right?
Yep.
The issue I have though, Camelot, is you're gonna meet these chicks now, bro. These chicks have done amateur prawn or pro-am prawn. They've been on OnlyFans. Look, how many young boys do you think are gonna get teased at school, and young girls who are gonna get teased at school because their mom did OnlyFans? She's done all kinds of smut work. She was at the slut. Bro, it's going to be so depressing for a lot of these kids, man, that like, look, I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you. A lot of you said it earlier, right? You were on Tinder. On Tinder, on any dating app, it doesn't matter if it's Tinder or whatever, right? Bumble, Hinge, whatever. A lot of these bitches are looking for sugar daddies now, right? And they say that, like, bro, these women are open prostitutes. Open. Like, it is out open. Give me money, daddy, and I will give you peace leave. Once a woman has ever done a direct exchange, a transaction, she's done. She can't pay her bond. She views men as Johns, as tricks. Can't do it. She's turning tricks. Because you know what happens? That's what she starts doing the whole, like, I know my worth. What's your worth? In order to be with me, you got to have, and then she starts listing, right? Why is she listing those things? Because someone else, simp, did it before. You see what I'm saying? That's why. Like, so look, I'm not mad at these women for their delusional dating standards. Some idiot did it for them before.
It's the simps, man.
It's the simps. The simps, look, and let me say this to the good women out there, right? I was talking to Danielle about this. Shout out to my girl D. And I said this to Virgin Anna also. I said, do you know what the problem is? Do you know who you should be mad at? Obviously the simps, right? But I'm talking about the good women. This is for the good women out there, right? The women who are marriage material. Do you know who they should be pissed at every day they wake up, Camelot? Not just the feminists of yesteryear. You know who it should be? It's the hoes. The hoes. Because watch this. 100 years ago, obviously the women were higher quality, right? But a man was like, in order for me to get sex, I got to be a quality man, provide a house, I got to provide all these things, right? So if a woman walked up to you and she's a virgin, you're like, well, in order to have access to a virgin, I got to have all those things. Now if a girl walks up to you, she's like, I'm a virgin, no sex until marriage. The guy's like, yeah, but I got these hoes over here. You see what I'm saying? He's like, because he's saying, he's going like this. If I commit to a virgin, which is the smartest thing to do, statistic wise, right? Statistically, being with a debt-free virgin is the best chance for success in a marriage. Shout out to Nick Ricada. However, today it is so fucked up that he's like, okay, what if I get with this chick and I put a ring on it and I put her in a house, I do all these things, and the sex is terrible. Now I'm sexually frustrated. But damn, look at these hoes, though.
I talked to Melanie Mack about this. I'm like, what if you wait to marriage and you get to that point and you're finally there, you carry over the threshold, you put her drawers off, and it's just the worst sex you've ever had.
Worse. I'm gonna be fair. I'm gonna be fair to virgins. I'm gonna be fair to virgins. They can be trained as they should be, right?
Yeah.
Now, that being said, what happens when, despite your training, some chick, let's just face it, Camelot, you've been with just dead fish chicks, right? Yeah. Some women just don't have the appetite, right? They aren't freaky. They aren't. Listen, Camelot, I'm a fucking degenerate, okay? I am a sick individual. I don't want boring sex. I want wild, freaky shit. Do you know why?
Yeah.
Because guess what? For anyone out there who wants to shame me, let me break this shit down. Chris Rock said years ago in a stand-up, I think it was Kill the Messenger. He said, women cannot regress in lifestyle. Men can't regress sexually. So if a man was a multimillionaire, lost his money, he could make do being like, yeah, I lost my money, but I'm in a nice place, right? It's like a little condo, but I'm good, man. Yeah, I was a millionaire. I blew all my money on hookers and blow. It is what it is, right? I'm good. As long as the sex is good, he's just got a roof over his head, and he's got internet connection, he's good, right?
Yep.
Women can't regress in lifestyle. They'll divorce your ass, right? If she was in a big house and so, oh, you lost your job, honey, we got to downsize to a townhome.
Nope. Well, it's the waiting at the finish line to pick the winners kind of idea. So I can kind of attest to this, and I don't know this for sure, but I feel like it's an easy out. When I helped my ex-wife through college, right? She
Oops.
became an engineer. Keep in mind, I
Oh.
was making 32 grand a year at this time as a GameStop
They-
store manager. She graduates in May of 2016. Okay. And she gets a job immediately making about 70 grand a year base. And then she's gone within 2 months. Right? Why? Because women don't they don't date below them. They only date equal or higher. Most of the times higher. So if you're earning less as a man than your woman, she won't even consider you. And it's the idea that a king will take a peasant and make her a queen, but a queen won't even look a peasant's way.
Yep.
That's the idea behind it. Real quick, Jabradel says, kids are expensive. My cousin just got divorced. Turns out that in New Jersey, if the kid is disabled, you can be on the hook for child support until the kid is 23.
Shit.
Damn,
Fam.
Rest in the pieces, man. Thank you, Wicked Virtue. I love you. God, what a great person Wicked Virtue is. Thank you. Appreciate it. But yeah, dude, it's wild. Absolutely wild.
That breaks my heart, fam. Bro, could you imagine, like, on the 18th birthday, like, yes, graduation. Like, oh, hold up, 5 more years. And
fuck,
your heart just sinks. Look, for those of you who don't know, man, in the child support system, right, they hit you with COLA, cost of living adjustment, every 2 years. When you start adding up how much it costs, Camelot, that's where that 300 grand comes from, right? And then with 5 more years, bro, you're looking at fucking 400 grand. Imagine what you could invest. This is for all my guys out there. Imagine what you could do, especially when you go overseas, right? Because I'm moving overseas. That's the whole goal, right? The goal is to leave.
When and what? Where?
Oh, no, I don't. I got years because my daughter's 12. She turns 13 this year, so she's got to graduate and all that shit, right? Camelot, when I leave, I will not look back. Fuck this place, bro. Look, I've traveled enough. I've been too many places, and I'm gonna tell you what ends up happening to you. You ever been in a situation where you know the true value of something and someone tries to convince you it has a different value, right?
Yeah.
You know, okay, so watch this. You worked at GameStop, right? Someone sells a brand new PS5 to GameStop, right? They bought it for $400 or $500. They sell it. You give them like 120.
Yeah.
Right? And then you put it on the shelf for like fucking $5 off that 500, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And so here's the thing. You as the guy who's going ahead and making that deal, you know the true value, right? But guess what? So does the guy selling. He's just desperate, right? When you take the desperation away, Camelot, let me tell you what happens to you. I travel. Someone tries to convince me that something costs X, right? So I was in the Mission District back in 2016, right? In that's in San Francisco. I was in the Mission District, clapping cheeks, female cheeks. I know it's a very gay area. yeah. I gotta make sure. So I'm clapping a professor, no less. I'm clapping this professor. Shout out to her, by the way. Love her to death. So I'm clapping the professor. She tells me she was paying, and she called this a deal, $2,000 for her 1 bedroom, right?
Jeez.
I'm looking at this shit like, you're paying $2,000 for this shit? Now, Camelot, you're in Alabama. You can your brain goes like this. You think about what $2,000 gets you in Alabama, right?
Yeah.
Based on your area, right? You're like,
yes,
$2,000 gets you a hell of a lot more than a 1-bedroom shack.
Yeah.
Right? But however, Camelot, peep this. I can show you pictures of a Las Terrenas, Dominican Republic, right? You don't want to know what $2,000 gets you in Las Terrenas. If you think it gets you a lot in fucking Alabama, wait till you see what it gets you in the DR. You're gonna be sitting there, bro. I'm not joking. Fully staffed, actually half that, $1,000 gets you a fully staffed place, right? As in, you have a cook, you have a maid. I'm gonna show you the place, Camelot, for $250 a month, right? Internet is included, gas is included, electric is included, water is included, right? $250 a month. And you're right next to the beach. So, do you see how this tries to change your mind? So when women are like, Drex, why won't you commit? You are a fucking liability. You're not an asset to me. If you are removing money and time and energy from me, but you aren't giving me something of worth that value or greater value in return, you are liability. You are not an asset. When I take my money, Camelot, and let's say I took $100,000. Do you know what $100,000 gets you in fucking Thailand? Right?
I can't even imagine.
Have you ever actually gone on Google and looked at exchange rates? I always look at exchange rates to figure out where I'm going to move because I have to travel to all these countries first, right? Exchange the baht to the dollar, right? The Thai baht to the dollar, right? The Iranian rial. Have you seen what the Iranian rial to dollar exchange rate is? Rial to USD? It is so exorbitant that you're like, wait a minute. Camelot, let's go out for dinner, right? $2.
Jeez.
$2 fucking dollars. Remember, when I say dinner, I don't mean no bullshit. I mean dinner.
So
$2.
So for $100,000, you have a compound with armed
Yeah,
guards.
you're so by their standard, right? You're Xerxes. You're like, wait a minute. Back home, I'm just a guy, right? You're doing okay. You're like, wait a minute. I have maids. I have a private chef. I have armed security for $1,000 a month. I'm not leaving.
Yeah.
You can do YouTube videos anywhere, right? Anywhere. So, do you see how that starts to change how you view the world? I tell the men out there because I love them, right? I was like, your parents don't love you. Society doesn't fucking love you. The people that call themselves your friends, you should only want the best for your fellow man. You see what I'm saying? That's why when I see a guy get ready to marry a stripper, I'm like, I'm not going to allow this to happen. You see what I'm saying? Come on. I'm tired of people congratulating people on occasions and not taking it case by case and saying, is this a good investment? Is this the right decision? Bro, Camelot, I'm going to be honest with you, man. If it was a guy I didn't even know and he said he was going to marry a stripper, I wouldn't allow a guy. I'm talking a stranger. I wouldn't allow a stranger to marry Riley Reid, Adriana Chechik, Lana Rhodes, any of these other prawn stars. You see what I'm saying?
Yep.
I can't in good conscience let men ruin their fucking life. Yeah, Drex, I'm about to marry this single mom. No. Snap out of it.
Dude, I've tried. I have friends in the past. I had one friend that was like marrying a woman that had like 4 kids already. And I'm like, dude, no, stop.
What?
Stop. And he had just been recently divorced by another woman that had 3 kids that wasn't even his. And I'm like, what are you doing? Like, this is only going to end in pain because you're going to fall in love with these children because you're around them all day. You spend
Fuck them kids.
And then you're going to lose them.
Fall in love? I will step over a kid's goddamn Power Rangers, take fruit snacks out of the fucking dress. Fuck these kids. Camelot, when I smash single moms, you think I'm sitting there going like, fuck these kids?
I don't even meet them. Yeah, 100%.
Listen, I don't give a fuck about your kid, right? Now, are there certain people that I'm cool with and I know their kids? Sure, that's fine. But like, if I'm just coming and you're asking me, do I want a relationship? You're a single mother. Of course I don't want a relationship with you.
Yeah, I agree.
You are here to be a cum receptacle. That's your purpose. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm just making deposits.
I'm making deposits. And get this plan B. Fuck your kids. We need to get away from having all of this. We've let compassion run amok, right? We've let love run amok. Love something that's worthy, right?
Yep.
How can you say you love yourself if you are willing to take care of another man's fucking busted nut, right? That's another man's cream pie you're taking care of. Why would you do that when you cannot do that, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. I like saving my money. I'm just saying, if you give me the option of spending my money on me or on some kid that's not mine, I'd rather spend it on my black ass.
And you find the people in these situations are like beta, they're beta male overweight dudes that are in this situation taking care of other women's kids. It's like that's all they could get. Wolf Spain real quick says this is why certain areas of the EU men are axing their families because it's cheaper to axe them than it is for the CS in some places is forever. John Snowden, Drex mansplains from the heart. Yeah, so dude, no, 100%. No, I completely agree. There's just no benefit, man. There's no benefit. And I know a lot of people get mad at this. And I get it. I get from your perspective. It's like, well, a lot of people see it black and white, right? They see, well, there's no benefit for a man to get married to a woman. Mm-hmm. So women immediately that are watching get offended. They're like, what do you mean? I'm angry at you now. Man, you know what I'm saying? So, and it's not, you got to look at it objectively from everybody's perspective. Like there is quite literally no benefit for a man to get married. And I
None.
know a lot of women will say tax benefits. It's not that much.
No.
It's not
No.
enough to where I'm not going to risk $280 of write-offs a year to risk losing 200 grand over the next 8 years.
Or
So
losing your house, losing half
Yeah.
your pension,
Yeah.
losing access to your kids if you got them. Like the risk far outweighs the reward. And you know what thing? Here's the thing that we have to always make sure that we remind these women of. Y'all don't want it to change. Because if you women really wanted to change, you would go there and change it. You'd be like this. No, we're getting rid of all these laws, all of them, right?
Yep.
No fault divorce, gone. Child support, gone. Alimony, gone. Nope. Because they want it. Because they want to use it when they are in an advantageous position. Now, I'm not mad at them for that, right? That's opportunistic of you. However, for every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. So while you guys double and triple down on feminism and making sure the family court system stays the way it is, guys went like this. How about we just not do this anymore, Camelot? Right?
Yeah.
Okay, look, think about it. Do you notice that you're a man who's been married and divorced? You got your shit together. Do you ever notice how funny it is that once you get your shit together, the prospect looks a lot less inviting, right? Because remember, like you said,
Yeah.
when you're like a fat guy, you're an incel. When one woman shows you attention, oh my God, yes, queen. Once you have options, Camelot, you're going to cons. If you want to, you could smash 100 bitches in every city you went to, right?
Yep.
And now you're like, because I have access to all these women, right? You're like, what, how does one female supersede 100 bitches when the laws are not in my favor?
It's experience. A lot of these men, they'll hook up with one girl every 4 or 5 years. So when they finally get a girl that will actually give them regular sex, they mistake that for love. I have a lot of friends like this. In the past, they'll finally start dating a girl and they're so excited and they get to have sex with this girl and they mistake it for love. And then, of course, they find themselves divorced within 2 to 3 years, maybe less. They mistake it for love. And unfortunately, if they would have just played the game a little, you'd realize that sex is very obtainable very fast with almost anybody.
It is.
But
it's about the dolls coming into fruition because I talked to a lot of guys. Shout out to Dollhouse Phil. You're starting to see this in Asia, right? The doll thing is really getting big, right?
Yeah.
Dolls, holograms, and stuff. Like, and here's the thing: there were a lot of people who like laughed at it initially, but I was like, you've heard about the birth rates over there, right?
Yeah, they're
South
so
Korea,
low.
bro. It's like 0.7. Like
Yeah.
no one's being born, and the government's starting to panic. So I'm like, what does it say that people would rather stick their dick in a doll than have a relationship?
Well, it's conflict. Especially in those regions, you can tell Japanese people, for example, like a Japanese man, you could go to Japan right now, Drex, and you could slap a Japanese man that walked by you, and he's gonna fall on the ground and start crying and then cower. He won't fight back. And it's a conflict thing. They're afraid of conflict. And what is the most conflicting thing you can have in your life? A relationship where there's somebody always there living with you.
Yep.
So it's avoiding conflict and avoiding the normal marital issues that you would have in everyday life. Although it's weird to me because in Eastern cultures it's probably way more comfortable than it is in Western cultures to be married to a woman that's rubbing your feet and shit. But that's how it is, and it's crazy to me that there's the low birth weight, and also it's games and it's the testosterone of men in Eastern countries is probably vastly lower than Western countries. I would imagine we're catching up fast though. That's for sure.
We're really getting there, man. Like, bro,
Yeah.
I keep my eyes on these things when it comes to, birth rates and all that. And I really look at this because what people don't understand is if you are expecting Social Security to be there for you,
Yep.
it won't be. Because if people aren't being born, that means there's no money getting put into that system, right? Not enough to be there for when you're there, right?
Yeah.
The system is going to collapse. All of it. Every single financial institution around the world is about to collapse because for those of you who don't know, Social Security is a Ponzi scheme, right? The idea of a Ponzi scheme is always what? In order to give X people returns, what do you need? You need new suckers, right? New investors. By that logic, the Social Security system always needs new workers being born. What the America's doing now is that they're starting to panic. That's why, what do? Similar to what happened in Rome. They need to import workers, right? Now, here's the irony of importing workers. Oh my God, we got to import workers. What about those 80 million abortions? Right? You had your workers. You got rid of them in the womb. Who would have had your same culture, same language, same value system, same social moray, right? But you didn't want it. So now that's gone. Now the men are leaving. The laws have gotten to be shit, so more guys have checked out. Are you starting to see some of these articles, right? CNN starting to cover, right? Men have checked out of work, right?
Yep.
Work, men checked out. Dating, men checked out. Marriage, men checked out. I wonder why, Camelot. Oh, that's right. There's no benefit.
Yep.
Men don't mind sacrificing, but there has to be a reward. There has to be a reason they sacrifice. If you remove the reasons why men sacrifice, they won't sacrifice. Right? I know you won't. If someone, imagine if you went to work every day and someone said, I'm giving you X amount, right? And it's a good wage. Then you come back a month later, it goes down. It just keeps going down. You're like, and you start complaining, why is my shit going down? And they don't have a reason. They don't give you a real reason. They just say, just man up, right? Just man up, Camelot. Just keep taking the deal I'm offering you. Eventually, what are you going to do? You're going to start looking at other options.
Yeah.
Like, I'm out. I'm out. Why would I put forth the same effort or greater effort to get less and less in return where I'm basically getting nothing?
Yep.
That's a bad deal, man.
Yeah, dude.
That's a terrible deal.
No way. Ain't no way in hell. No.
I couldn't do it. I look, for the guys out there who are happily married, shout out to my brother, Nick Ricada, Ty Beard, guys out there, Andrew Bronca. There are guys who are legitimately like happily married. Like I got a couple of cousins. Good for them. But you know what they all tell me? Man, it's fucked up out there. Like even they know. Like,
yeah.
You know what the funniest thing is to hear about from a long-term married guy? They all say the same thing, right? Cameron, I don't know what I would do if I had to go back out there. Right? They're like, I don't know what the hell I would do. It's fucked up.
Yeah.
These guys know. Like if you got a unicorn, congrats, my brother. I'm happy for you. But if you're out there, it's different if you're just smashing. If you're just smashing or like, friends with Benz or, you're kind of casually dating, it's no big deal. But for the guy looking for a relationship, like marriage, you have to go overseas. You have to.
Well, that's where the phrase passport bros was coined. I didn't even hear about this until like a year ago or maybe a little bit less. Yeah, where Western men are just marrying women overseas because it's the
keep her there though. Keep her ass there.
It's
don't bring her here.
What do they call it? They call it the there was too many participation awards. Everyone was told they were special when they're not.
Mm-hmm.
Too many things. You can have anything you want. That was drilled into our heads. I grew up maybe, in the early 90s, right? And I was even told that shit. I can be anything I want. I'm special and I'm an individual. And the unfortunate truth is no one really is. Like everybody has their shit. And I can speak to this, being on Tinder for years, I found out the reason I stopped doing it, en masse was because the girl may look slightly different, but the girl that shows up is the same girl every time. And it got really boring. They were all the same, especially white girls, man. They are all the fucking same.
They are exactly. There's no variation at all.
They think when they tell you they like true crime and wine that they think they're being funny. Or they think they're being individualistic. I'm like, that is literally every one of you. You true crime and wine.
They all watch The Office, right?
Yeah, of course.
What's the other thing that all white girls watch? It's The Office. What's the other one?
Parks and Rec.
What's that medical show? Grey's Anatomy.
Yeah, Grey's Anatomy, of course.
Look, can we make white women great again? Can you white women like start being something more than just fucking Grey's Anatomy? Or ER and what's the show I just said? The Office, and just like, because the thing for the single ladies out there, right? Single white women, Kim, do you know what they do in life? They go home after work and sit down and drink and watch Netflix. That's their life.
Dude,
they have no hobbies, no friends.
This, man. Like,
can y'all please become interesting?
And the Netflix and wine girls is wild.
Oh my God. It's all of them.
Dude, they unironically list their interest on freaking Tinder as Netflix and wine. That's not an interest. An interest is musical instruments or musical scores. An interest is wildlife or self-preservation or hunting. An interest is auto sport or maybe a certain type of sport. Something like
MMA,
that,
yep.
or mechanical engineering. An interest is not watching fucking TV. That is 99% of people watch TV. That's everyone. Okay. That's not an interest. And the fact that these women will list that in their bios without understanding that's not an interest. Dude, I got to the point where every girl I would swipe, every one of them, what's your interest? Netflix and drinking beer. Netflix.
Oh
and
my
drinking
God. Look,
wine.
actually, hold up. Cameron, we got to say
Oh.
this, though. We got to talk very quickly about the beer thing. Ladies, I know your metabolism has turned into shit, right? It's garbage. You have garbage metabolism because you don't do anything in life, right? I know you don't. When you ladies drink beer, no matter how skinny you are, you get the beer gut. Camelot, have you ever been attracted to the beer gut on women? Because it looks real bad on skinny chicks. Like a thicker girl has like more to kind of like move that shit around. But like there's nothing worse than like a skinny girl who has like that little gut. And you're like, I don't know what it is with like, look, I'm a non-drinker, right? I'm a lifelong non-drinker. But I have to ask the question, what is it about beer that tastes so good? Is it really that good? Is it really that amazing?
Tastes like balls to me. I don't like beer.
Like
beer? I'm a White Claw bitch ass guy.
Yeah, like I don't know, drink like a fine wine or champagne,
whiskey or something.
Whiskey.
Yeah.
Take a shot. Why does it have to be fucking beer? And they all drink the same thing: Miller Lite or Bud Light.
It's because all the guys they've been fucking for 4 years of drinking beer, and that's what they're used to.
Crushing beer cans in their head and shit. Look, Camelot, I don't like I said as a I'm gonna say the funniest thing about being a non-drinker, right? Especially being from a place like Minnesota, Wisconsin, it forces you to have other interests, right? When everyone else is like, oh, kegger. Nah, I'm good. I'm going to go do something else.
Yeah.
Huh? Yeah, bro. I don't want to sit around and just fucking. Why would I want to sit around and just drink? How is that fun?
Yeah. I don't get it.
God.
You know what's the sexiest thing to me? And before I say that, I'm going to go ahead and say Trent Westbrook with $100 super chat. Ferrari Red Sun getting us 340 until 5 milk. Thank you so much, my friend. I love you. I appreciate you. We missed it last stream, but Trent's back going ham as hell. Swift kiss to his penis. You're goated as hell. Get on it, diggity doggone it, Trent. You're the goat. I love you, and I really, really appreciate that, my friend. Hail to the yeah, son. Thank you so much, dude. But yeah, dude, it's wild to me because the sexiest thing to me is I've had girls, and there's a bunch of girls that have done this. I don't want to dog all of them, but there's only been 3 or 4. And I'll be like, hey, I have a race next weekend, and so I won't be home. And they'll message me back and they're like, oh, you mean I can go with you and I can help you? And I'll have a girl. And there's a few girls that have done this in my past. Shout out to Shani in my chat. She's done it too. She's kick ass. Showed up and helped me unload my car and stayed there for 3 days at this track as I'm racing my race. I'm sitting in my car freaking sweating bullets because it's 140 degrees in the car. They're handing me freaking electrolytes through my window with expecting nothing in return. That's the sexiest thing to me, is a girl that's willing to do all those things and go through all that shit and be on the road for 20 hours on a weekend doing that shit for no return, by the way, because they know there's no return. And that's sexy as hell to me. And they want to get involved. They're like, oh, what's a valve spring? How do you adjust these valves? Oh, like, how do you prime this oil? Let me prime the oil. I've had girls that are like, well, I'll prime the oil while you do the air pressures for my race car. And I'm like, okay, well, here you go. Here's the tool. And they're fucking priming the oil and shit. I'm like, damn, they're wanting to learn more about this because they know I'm interested in this. So they want to be interested in this as well. And I know a lot of people will say, well, women like to chameleon, but a lot of women won't put in that effort to do those things. And
not actively. Like they'll okay. A lot of women will chameleon an interest from afar, as in, I'll go to the football game and cheer because they're not physically doing anything. They're just cheering, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna put on a tap out shirt and go to watch fight. I love fights, right?
Yeah.
I went to I took my sister out to bare knuckle boxing, out in was that it is in Nebraska. It was near Omaha. I forgot the fucking name of that city. Ralston, Nebraska, and went out there I took her and we had a ball and everything. And my thing is this though. These basic white chicks will pretend to like something. But like you said, if it's hands-on, they're not doing that. They're not
Yeah.
changing oil and, like you said, priming oil. They're not going to like. Now that being said, Camelot, you and I both know, man. Over time,
It
a lot of
wanes.
that it just starts
Wanes.
waning. It's like,
Yeah.
ugh, it's
Yep.
rough. It
No,
really is.
I had one girl where I was in a tight spot and I was working on something at the front of the car, and I was like, "Can you take the drive shaft off?" And they're like, "How do I do that?" And I'm like, "Okay, the drive shaft's the long white thing. Go to the end of it and undo the 4 bolts that are at that little U joint at the very end of it. Just undo them. Here's the 9/16 wrench. Get on it, doggone it." And these girls climb onto this car. By the way, just with jack stands, that bitch could fall and crush your ass. They get under there and they take that drive shaft off within like 10 minutes. They're like, "I got it off." I'm like, "Well, hell yeah." So there's girls that will do that shit, and they're wanting to be involved, but there's not a lot of them. There's like
No.
5 in the last couple of years that have been like wanting to do those kind of things. And like you said, it does wane over time. But dude, I can't stress how much I just don't care for girls that their entire personality is going to the bar or the club or the rooftop bar that's new, by the way. It's a new rooftop bar. Thursday night, Friday night, Saturday night, and Sunday. Every single week.
God,
Dude,
yeah.
Drex, have you noticed this? I'll go to the gym, right? I go to the gym almost 7 days a week, depending on the week. I'll go to the gym Monday, Monday, 60 men, 30 women. Tuesday, 60 men, 30 women. Wednesday, 60 men, 25 women. Thursday, 60 men, 2 women. Friday, 50 men, 0 women. Saturday, 50 men, 0 women. Sunday, 50 men, 0 women. Where are the women at Thursday, Friday, and Saturday and Sunday? They're out living their best life every single week. And that's the issue.
Well, do you know what the sad thing is about that? And this is for men and women, right? Which is when you ask people what's new, they never have anything new. You ever notice that?
Yep.
They haven't traveled anywhere. They haven't done anything. And it's like, yeah, don't get me wrong. In Minnesota, it's kind of rough because, in the winter months, let's face it, you're fucked, right? It's 30 below. So, I mean, unless you travel, you're basically kind of just confined to being stuck inside. But once the weather warms up, you're right. They just do the same loop week after week. And it's like, it never occurred to you to just go do some other shit?
Yeah.
Ever? Bro, look, I remember taking Nick out. One of my buddies turned pro fighting, right?
Yeah.
And this was at Mystic Lake Casino. And I got tickets for myself, Nick, and Lady Rackets. This was years ago, right? And they came down and had a ball, right? It's like, yeah, man, let's like not be the people that just go like this. I just go to the bar. I just go to the bar, bro.
Yeah.
The fucking bar. Let's go watch some fights. Let's go to the track. Let's go do whatever. Look, I remember, look, no lie, man. When my daughter turned 9, I took her to indoor skydiving, right? That's a lot more fun than like, just join like, I guess nothing, right? You know how people are, right? It's your birthday, just, I don't know, here's a device, right? Go play. No, let's go do something, right? Let's go indoor skydiving. Because for kids, that's an experience. When she turned 54 inches tall, when she grew up, I took her around the country to different roller coasters. I got the season pass that was eligible for all parks that were Cedar Fair. So that's Cedar Point, Valley Fair, the Carowinds in was it North Carolina, outside of Charlotte. I was all these places. She loved it, right? Yeah, this is awesome. Yeah, doing shit. I have a passion for it, right? I grew up doing roller coasters. I want her to grow up doing roller coasters.
Yeah.
I can tell people about it. Like, if you go to Cedar Point, oh man, Camelot, you got to do Top Thrill Dragster. It simulates being in that car and it just rockets you out of there. It's an amazing time. But it's like, as long as you have a passion, I think that's what it really boils down to. Because Camelot, you notice, guys don't have the same passions, right? That's why, if you notice, this is the wildest thing, man. Something I noticed growing up, when guys get together, their bros are all different, right? Different interests, but they all come together with like a universal kind of like, almost like a theme, right? Like a certain kind of ideology. Do you ever notice, you see it's a meme, right? Where all the girls look exactly the same. They're dressed the same. They look the same. They're the same person. You talk to them. Hi. This is why you don't remember their names. Stacy, Amber, Becky, you know what I'm saying, Lisa, and they're like, wait, which one's which? Because you all look the same. Your highlight, they have the same highlights. They wear the same. They talk the same. Bros come out there. This guy's got a Southern accent. This is a Jersey dude. This dude grew up on the streets. This guy grew up as an aristocrat, and yet they can all mesh together, right?
Yeah.
And they're all passionate about other like. And so we could be sitting there talking, right? Cameron, man, how have the races been? And you're fucking excited, and I'm excited with you and for you. And then my bro over here, Nick, starts talking about his YouTube channel. This guy's talking about Matt Surrey. Yo, man, when we're going to Bubba Fest, we just start talking about that shit because, like, when we get there, we just live it. And then you have these chicks. Oh my God, did you see Real Housewives?
Yeah, what is the, it's so strange.
Oh my God, they're all the same basic bitches.
Speaking of basic bitches, real quick. Ashley and Locals, by the way, with a $20 and $10 tip. I love you. Outlaw 2 as well. I love you. And Ghost Meter. They said this isn't the Locals chat. This is the Ashley Outlaw 2 and Ghost Meter chat now. Daramuth on Rumble says, did you see the tweet from Rumble earlier? It looks like those who pay for the monthly sub, you'll get 100% of it. Your thoughts? Well, my thoughts is that's great. Amor says, a lot of my favorites on Rumble now. Hard to watch all of them when stream times overlap. Dude, look, there is a lot of us that stream at the exact same time, and I don't really know how to like thwart that because there's only so many people. Real quick, we are 130 likes from 1,000. With we had 1,000 people in here, 1,100 for almost the entire time. We got a little bit to go. We are 340 from Fight Milk Boys, the closest we've been in a while. Wolf Spain. I'm gonna let Drex speak to this super chat real quick because I'm about to piss my pants again. I probably shouldn't drink while I stream. This is why I shouldn't, but I'm real quick. Wolf Spain says, did you guys see this short where a girl admitted she cheated on her boyfriend with his dog? It was an interview vid. By the way, she's white. Drex, you can speak to this for damn sure, especially white women. Tell them about the statistic. Ready?
Look, man,
Go ahead.
It is very common with these Beckys, with these goddamn dogs doing this canine play. In fact, there's a study done where the doctors, right? They were at, I think it was a gynecologist was talking about like the amount of dog semen inside of these women, white women. And there's actually a song for those of you who know. There's a song. I think it's called like "White Women Fuck Dogs." And I warned Anna. I've warned other people. I warned my bros. When you go to a white girl's house and you step in there and you go, "Why is there all this peanut butter, but there's no bread, there's no jelly, there's no honey?" But she has a dog, bro. She's putting the dog on her ass. She's putting the peanut butter on her pussy. She's putting the peanut butter all over, and the dog is licking it all out, man. These girls get very intimate and familiar with their canines. And if you don't know this, there's always that person who doesn't believe it. Like, this is true. This can't be true. It's fake. I was like, bro, this is like well known. It's always a white chick. Anytime you hear about woman has sexual relations with a dog, there is a 100% chance it's a white chick. It's never a black chick. It's never a Latina. It's never an Asian. It's always a fucking white chick. So for the guys out there, please beware. Please see the signs. Like I said, when you see those jars of peanut butter and you're like, no crackers, no, seriously, just those things are like, ask her about why she has jars of Jif, right? Ask her, why is there a jar of Skippy here? Why is this here? And I just really like peanut butter. What she'll do is that she'll, in front of you, grab like a spoon or something and just like take a scoop and go, oh, I just love peanut butter. And so that makes you kind of put at ease, go, okay, she just likes peanut butter, no big deal. No, does she own a dog? Yes. Then she's going ahead and she's fucking the dog, bro. She's getting licked and she's getting dicked by the dog. So I hope that you guys knew this already, but if you didn't, now you fucking know. Because I mean, it's a reality I think that you have to face, which is what a lot of people are doing behind closed doors, as degenerate and deviant as it is. It only gets worse over time. Cameron, you've been in that situation, right? Where you find out something about somebody, you're like, that's kind of fucked up. And then you know them longer, it gets more fucked up. You're like, how deep does the rabbit hole go? And then you're like, there's a party that's kind of like, let me just stop, right? I don't want to know how much further along the dog shit. Like, do you remember in the movie Clerks 2 with Kinky Kelly and the sexy stud? You remember that?
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, that interspecies erotica. that shit sounds cool in movies. I promise you, it's not cool in real life, man. Like for all those guys out there, especially my military men who went and saw the donkey show or they saw the snake show, they know. The egg, don't forget the egg show. Don't forget about the eggs. And you see this shit, and you're like, "How did I get here?" You can ask any guy that went to Asia. There, it sounds cool at like in their head, and like as they're seeing, they're just kind of like, "Why am I here? Why did I make this choice?"
Yeah, you know what it reminds me of? This one girl where, so I matched with this girl on Tinder. I think it was Tinder. And she was easily the most attractive girl I've ever come in contact with on Tinder. And she showed interest in me. And I was like, well, shit, cool. Let's hang out. Of course, I'm real fast. I'm within the first 6 messages. I'm like, let's hang out. Because if she says no or doesn't respond, I'm on to the next one. I don't care.
Yep.
So I'm like, hey, let's hang out. And she's like, all right, cool. So she comes to my house and she is just like ethereal, mythological, beautiful woman. White girl, of course. This is going to make a lot of sense later. So we're hanging out. Of course, we smash pissers, and it's the greatest shit ever. And I'm like, man, this is awesome. Well, we hang out once or twice, and then she asked me, she's like, I live with my brother, my biological brother. And she asked me, she randomly texted me, and maybe she was drunk or something, but she's like, hey, I have a crazy question, and please don't hate me when I say this. I'm like, yeah, sure, do whatever. She's like, I think it would be really sexy if like you came over to my apartment and you and my brother fucked me. And I was like, what?
Well, wait. Your brother or her brother?
Her brother, biological. And she tells me that she's been hooking up with her biological brother her whole life. And if I'm not okay with her biological brother, then I'm not going to be able to be involved. And that was where I ended it, right? I ended it. And the sucky thing is, I think back at it now, and I'm like, man, I kind of wish I would have like smashed her one more time. God, she was like a diamond in the rough, man. But there's always, if you have a diamond in the rough and she's like showing you attention overtly, there's something going on. She's either crazy or she's having sex with her brother.
There's always something, bro.
Yeah,
it's always something.
Yep.
And you're right. If it's not the head meds, it's the I'm smashing my brother. And let's be honest. This shit is getting put out into society now, right? Every time you go on the hub, they're always trying to push the same shit. Incest shit, gay shit, and tranny shit.
Yep.
You're like, I'm not looking for any of this. Why does this keep popping up in the algorithm? Because they're pushing it in the culture, right? They want the culture to break down. You could go look up right now. You could go on the hub and look up fucking like BBW grannies. Somehow it'll be like, you see this incest? Hey, step brother. You're like, how did that? That's totally not what the fucking search engine, bro. That's all they push, man. They constantly push that. I don't know what happened. Like this thing, if I had the hottest sister in the world, I don't know how you can look at your sister and be attracted to your sister like that.
It was,
you can acknowledge it, like oh yeah, I know guys find my sister hot. But you're normally kind of like repulsed by your siblings. It's
like almost like it's like a biological impulse. I had a sister growing up, and even the fact that like if an intrusive thought would come into my mind when I was like 14, 15, 16, it like made me shudder. It like
let's say your sister's stacked, right?
Yeah,
just
almost made me sick.
You'd be like, oh, like yeah, my sister. Like even though you could be a boob guy and you can recognize like she has huge knockers, but you're like, oh, but it's my sister's knocker.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, there's always like that red tape that's right there. It's just like, oh no, God, no, ugh. Of course, I mean, all the guys are looking, but you're like, fuck you, dude. Don't look at my sister. So
yeah. Speaking of sisters, Anna, that Star Wars girl, was in the chat, and I kind of been drinking, so I forgot to acknowledge her. But I love you, Anna. I appreciate you.
Yeah, you're in there. She's great.
She is easily the most laid back, coolest, probably female on YouTube, in my opinion. Easily the most laid back and cool girl. Oh, fuck, she's still in here. I shouldn't have said that.
Anna.
I didn't think she was
right as you were giving her like effusive praise. She's still there. I absolutely I love Anna.
She haven't said anything good. Now it's over. Now there goes all the chances.
I know she's only like 2 feet tall. Shout out to Anna and Peaches.
Damn it. Ghost Meteor says that ain't the first time I heard shit like that in high school. There was easily a handful of people I knew fucking their sibling. A handful?
Wait, whoa, hold up. Wait, what?
Los Angeles. $3 from Ghost Meteor and locals. Thank you, dude. Los Angeles? That makes sense. I feel like the places that always is the opposite stereotype are always the ones that's doing those kind of things.
Yeah, like Portland, Seattle, Los Angeles, New York.
Yeah.
I mean, hell, look, Cruel Intentions, right? There was always that weird sexual chemistry between Ryan Felipe's character and Sarah Michelle Gellar. Like,
No. Matt G says Wrench Anna. Thank you. I should. Yeah, I don't know why I haven't yet. We are 100 likes away from the 1,000 like goal already, and 337 from Fight Milk. Get the hell on it. Doggone it. Thank you, Trent, again for your red boy. Crazy as hell. Yeah, dude, it's been an eventful damn stream. Carlos is being a dick ass in the chat, so let's pull it up. He's been spamming this shit. He says, I asked this before, but you ignored me. Drex, how do we shatter the brown black victim mentality?
Oh, that's the easiest thing in the world. Get away from brown and black people. That's what I do. I can't stand being around these motherfuckers, man. I go full Clayton Bigsby. Camelot. I love living in an all-white neighborhood, man. It's great, right? I don't get shot at. Nothing bad ever happens, right?
Yeah.
My daughter's safe. Dude, I think back to like just some of the times that, like, okay, I'll give you an example, right? You come to Minnesota, right? You fly into Minneapolis and you say, yo, Drex, where do you want to go? I'm like, bro, don't go anywhere in the fucking city. If you see black people, always go the opposite direction, right? It's too black. Like, I mean, I will go places. It's too black in here, right? If it's a bar and there's too many black people, I gotta leave.
Yep.
Is there a club? Too many black people, I gotta leave. Restaurant, I don't want black people near me. No, because every time you have a situation where there's too many black people, there's always some fuck shit that's gonna jump off, right? I don't make the rules.
Well, they talked about it. They talked about it on Boondock Saints. So, like, you ever seen Boondock Saints?
Yep.
The moment, yeah. So, there's a scene on Boondock Saints, and it's called it's the moment, right, where the two guys they run into each other on accident on the street, and they start shooting guns at each other. I've seen like 5 videos on Twitter of like security footage of that literal same thing happening, but in real life, not as a meme. Guys bumping into each other, and then they start fist fighting, and then one of them pulls out a gun and kills the other one.
Bro, man, here's the thing though, there's a certain type of thug who engages in that behavior. Like, here in Minnesota, the crime rate skyrocketed due to mainly thugs from Chicago, right? They shot up Chicago, and then the government busted them in on the fucking megabus for $1, right? So they subsidized and sent their criminals over here. They also sent them to Milwaukee and some other places, right? Detroit. So now we basically inherited all of their fucking worst criminals. And then they just started shooting shit up here. I was like, nope, I will stay in my all-white suburb and live and just lay low, and everything's cool. Nothing bad ever happens where I live. Nothing bad happens where Nick lives. Everything's cool. When I go out there, I'm like, yes, I'm the only black face. I love it. Look, we need to keep a lot of places white or just non-black. Keep these places non-black. I don't want these ignorant Negroes near me. I know all they're going to do is fucking violence and destruction.
So what do you think causes that? So you said that all they're going to do is
single moms.
Is it because the single mom rate's so high?
Yep. The single mother rate is what causes the whole the victim mentality. That's what think about it. The depression. Like, have you ever seen the statistics attached to single mothers? Right.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Bro, like it should be against the law to put children in the care of single moms. It should be fucking illegal. They're you literally, especially in the black community, they're literally doomed by putting the child in the care of a single mom. So
yeah, it's like the incarceration rate is like 87%.
It's
something
so
ridiculous like that.
You know what's crazy? Do you know who's actually got it worse than blacks? They make black people like the face of like poverty and all these things. I'll tell you who statistically is significantly worse off: Native Americans. You think black people have it bad? Bro, go look at Native Americans with the kidnapping rates, the grape rates. Bro, it is terrible. Fucking terrible. And
It's
same thing.
unfortunate, man.
Government
Yeah.
subsidies and single motherhood is what causes that shit. Because do women take accountability for anything? No. Guess what they do? They project that shit onto the kids. Why are we poor, mom? Well, it's the white man, it's the system. It's like, no, it's you, right? It's all
Yeah.
your fault.
It reminds me of a comic strip I saw recently, and also in a TV show I saw recently, and it's apparently a common trope. Whereas there'll be a man and a woman. Well, let's assume that the kid knows his parents. He's 4 years old, 5 years old, right? And they get a divorce. And when the kids are with the dad, they're going to a pizza place, they're having a good time watching movies and having activities. But when they're with the mom, and this is what females do, females gossip and lie instead of physical violence. That's how they are biologically wired.
Social violence.
Yeah. So what they'll do is they'll tell their children that their dad hates them and they have a new family for no reason other than spite. And you'll see this all the time. It's like, oh, he has a new family. He doesn't love you anymore. Why would a mother tell her son that? It's fucking crazy.
Women don't love their children in general.
It's wild to me, dude.
Well, there's lots of narratives, engines.
Thank you, Cecil. We love
My
you.
man, Cecil. Well, you know what though? This is the problem I have. There's too many like adages throughout history that have stuck and they don't need to stick. And one of those is this whole notion that like women love their kids so much, right? Okay. Let's just say that you have decided to believe that fiction, that women really love their kids, right?
Yeah.
If that were true, then how come single mothers produce the worst possible members of society? They love their kids so much, and then you go like this: highest rate of obesity, depression, they do terrible in school, most of them wind up in prison, they're sticking you up, they're grapes, right? There's all these horrible things, right? And then you go, oh, I forgot about to say about this though, Camelot. Let's not talk about the children that they delete in the womb, right? They care so much about their kids, but they always march for abortion. And then how about this?
80% of abortions, yeah.
Yeah. Well, and don't forget about this though. Have you ever talked to guys who were raised by single moms? Do you know what they tell you? There were guys in and out of the house all times of night, right? She used the kids as a fucking resource or a pawn. When the tax money came in, she used it on herself, not the kids, right?
Of course. Yes.
Like so why is there still this whole adage that like the children deserve to be with the mother? She's so loving and caring. What? There's no evidence that supports that at all. It's a myth. And I'm tired of the myth being perpetuated.
Well, it's because people don't understand and they like to read between the lines or think that society is different than biology when it's not. A successful nuclear family needs a masculine father and a feminine mother. Yep. That is the end of it. That is how that works. There hasn't been enough time for us to evolve. People like to say that everything is based on society's constructs, but humans generally have only been around for maybe 200 years in our current form. That is not enough time to adapt or evolve. Therefore, me and Drex are the same biologically than the first humans that ever existed in the first generation of humans.
Yep.
And that means that the masculine man was the only one that survived, and the effeminate mother was the only one that nurtured for the children. That is how they survived. Nothing's changed. I don't care what people say about society society thinks that men, you should do this, or women. Society thinks that gender roles need to be a thing, and it's not actually true. We can change that. No, you can't.
No.
We haven't evolved past that point. Men are still masculine. Women want that. Women are still effeminate. Men still want that. But people are trying to break from those roles, and it's completely destroying Western culture. And why is it destroying Western culture? Because it's encouraged only in Western culture. You go to Japan, like you said, you go to maybe you go to Saitama. Maybe don't go to a big city in Japan, right? Go on the outskirts. The women there are making you food and they're rubbing your feet.
Yep.
Right? Try finding a woman that will rub your feet in a Western country.
Yeah.
That'll happen once in 10 years. Maybe.
Well, here's the thing. If you do, it's because you paid her some exorbitant amount of money, right? She's like, oh yeah, I'll do it for some
Yeah.
crazy amount of money. Like she's not doing it because
Yeah.
that's what she wants to do.
Yeah.
Right. Or she feels obligated to. And that's the main thing.
Yep.
And you know, when you mess with gender roles and all that, the thing about it is, see, I'm an accelerationist, so I want all of this to happen because at the end of the day, I'll show you what this does, Camelot. It provides truth, right? So there was this myth, another myth. Women love men. Women at no point in human history have ever loved men. Not once. Not even for 1 second.
They love the idea of what they provide.
That's it.
Yep.
That's it. That's why as soon as you lose whatever you provide, what do, Camelot? Gone.
Divorce
Right?
rates. Look at the there is statistics for reasons for divorce rates, and almost exclusively it's because I fell out of love with him because he either lost his job,
Yep,
or he got depressed.
yep. Yeah, he went through a rough patch, and she's like, "Oh my God, I can't respect you anymore."
Women weren't built to deal with depressed men. Men are built to deal with depressed women because women's their hormones are always kind of out of whack depending on what month it is, what time of month it is.
Yep.
Men deal with that shit. Women, they're not capable of dealing with men's depression, right?
No.
So that's what that's why most breakups, most divorces, actually the finger is pointed at the man's depression or their financial stability. He lost his job, and the women will say they fell out of love with them. Why did they fall out of love with them? It's because they lost their job and they can no longer provide the lifestyle, the lifestyle that they were providing beforehand.
Yeah, they don't care. And you know what though? And I've heard women argue that point. And I said, every time shit hits the fan, i.e. a war or whatever, and I like to use Ukraine as a prime example. If you were to ask somebody before that war, did the Ukrainian women, quote unquote, love their men? Yes, Drex. They love their men. They're traditional. As soon as war broke out, what did they do? They jumped on OnlyFans, they jumped on IG, and they went with the same men who killed the men in their own country.
Well, they shipped out. Yeah, they can. The women were shipped out, and they got on OnlyFans. They were shipped out, and the men stayed and fought. The men were required to fight. They actually, a lot of people don't understand the war in Ukraine. Men from 18 or 16 to 65 were required to stay in the country and fight as a draft. Women were shipped out and shipped to
go get ran through by the men who literally just that they're literally fighting a war against. Like, let that sink in. You are fighting for women in a government that doesn't even give a shit about you, that they view you as disposable. And I say that and they call me toxic, right? I'm the bad guy for saying that.
Well, it's toxic for pointing out facts. And that's how it's always been.
Well, absolutely. Well, Camelot, when Andrew and I talk about this, when it comes to like lions, right? The female will allow the new lion the lioness will allow the new lion to show up, delete the kids, right?
Yes.
She doesn't fucking care because what does she care about?
Drown them in the water. Yep.
Drown them in the water. Her own survival.
Yep.
Men, listen carefully. Listen to me and listen well. Women do not love you. They never have loved you, and they are incapable of love you. The only people on earth who have the ability to love are men. Only men possess that. In fact, for all of you biblical idiots, you know what it says in the Bible about this topic? It says women can respect their husband and they can submit to him. And nowhere does it say women love men. Does it, Camelot?
Men love unconditionally. Women love conditionally.
But it's not love.
That's generally the agreed.
Yeah, that's like the red pill saying. But like, here's the thing: if someone says I'm with you for this, as long as you do this, I'm down with you. That's not really. That's why if you notice, they will flip on you in a heartbeat. Ask any dude in here, right? Who's dated, who's dealt with women. They all said they loved you, right, Camelot? Do you remember how it felt? Remember that? She really loves me, man. She like loves me though. The same women who said they love you. Hey, Camelot, where are they at now?
Shit, I have no idea.
I thought they loved you though, right? They can love on the drop of a fucking dime, man.
Well, it's where so I was talking to a girl recently kind of about this like yesterday, and she was telling me that like she's with her boyfriend, right? And they've been together 8 months, and she keeps telling him that she loves him and he won't say it back. And I'm like, well, the issue is you probably don't actually love him. because
No.
I know for a fact because this girl told me she loved me like last year. Right, same
Yep.
girl. It's loving conditionally. It's not loving unconditionally. It's because I'm convenient and now he's convenient. That's the whole point. I've told, I think, 2 women ever that I love them. And one was a mistake and one was probably also a mistake. Let's be honest. It was because I was confused. Let's be honest. Stephanie, what's up, baby? You poor mistreated man. You. Thank you, Stephanie. I love you. How you doing? Great jawline on that girl. I told her that she had a great jawline, and she's like, "What is that supposed to mean?" And I'm like, I mean, like you have a good jawline.
I didn't see your jawline.
Yeah, it's a good jawline. Here, let me find it. Let's go back up to Stephanie's jawline. It's good. She got a good jawline on her.
Oh yeah, she does. She really does.
I mean, like, and I mean that in a good way, not in a masculine way. Like, she's just like, you don't have a gobbler. All right, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, especially white women, they get infected with old white lady neck. That fucking giblet, the little that shit looks terrible.
A floopy. You got the neck floopy.
Oh my god! Can white women please do something about that fucking turkey neck shit?
There's an injection for that shit now. You just go to the plastic surgery place. They'll give you an injection and it tightens it up. Do that.
Shit.
Yeah, Tom Cruise
has
been doing it for like
the government needs to subsidize that. Listen. If I don't have to ever see that shit again, please, daddy government, take away X amount of dollars out of my paycheck and let it go toward tighten up these
I'll pay
white
tax towards that. Yeah.
I don't want to see that shit for the rest of my life.
Like, I'll give you 2% tax towards that. I don't want to pay towards anything else. But you tighten up the turkey neck. I'm all about it, dude.
All about it, baby.
Pay.
All about it.
Mm-mm-mm. Speaking of turkey necks, we are 3:35.
Holy shit. I don't know how this time breezes by. I swear, man.
It is weird, isn't it? We're at 3 hours long, 3:35 away from Fight Milk. We're going to miss it tonight. Luckily for Drex, I'm used to it by now. I did it last night on Legal Mindset stream for free.
Ooh.
And I feel like I'm kind of a dumbass. Why did I do that? Yeah, I did that. But we are 65 likes from the goal of 1,000.
Let me see. I'm gonna take. I think I can kick myself out right there, and I can click the like button. Hold on.
Click that damn like button.
There's a like button right there.
Hell on it. Doggone it. Yeah, dude, it's been a wild ass stream. And I know, like, so I've talked about this kind of subject matter before, and I know a lot of people, we've talked very candid about it, I guess you could say. And a lot of women do get mad about this subject matter, and a lot of men do too, because they have wives and they don't feel like their wives ever could lie to them in any shape or form. What I would tell you, I like how Drex just laughed. What I can tell you is be cautiously optimistic, but always keep the cautiously in the front of that, because I don't care how much you know the person you're with, you don't read their mind. My ex-wife, the last night me and my ex-wife were together, we were sitting on the bed in my master bedroom at my old house. We were eating ice cream. We were eating some pizza or some bullshit. We had ordered pizza, had it on the bed. We were laughing and cutting up better than we ever have. We smashed pissers. She was sopping. It was dripping off my shaft. We were smashing. And then the next day, she was quiet. And I was like, "Are you okay?" And she was like, "I'm leaving." And I've seen her twice since then.
Damn, that's cold-blooded, man.
There was no warning. There was absolutely no warning. So those men out there that think you know your wife, she would never cheat on me. She would never do anything to me. She would never. You don't really know. So make sure you have your ducks in a row beforehand. I don't care how good it seems. Like, you owe it to yourself to make sure you're good to go.
I'm with you 100% on that, because Camelot, on some real shit, man. I think back to my own past, and I can think back to like certain situations with women. Like, you're right. We were good, bro. I can go back to some like I'm starting to think about certain situations. Right.
Yeah.
And if I were to think like, okay, Drex, the last time before it just suddenly flipped, what was it like? Camelot, you're right. It was good.
Yeah.
It was good. Like if you would have asked me, "Yo, Drex, was there any problem?" I'd be like, "No, it was good. We were, like I said, we were eating, we were talking, fucking, everything's good." So what I did to alleviate that was that I just enjoy the ride regardless, right? I don't have the ability to like invest like that, right?
Yeah.
I did in the past. Like I said, my child's mother, we were together for almost 2.5 years. I've done it before. I've been in relationships. That was the longest one I ever was in. But I've done relationships. I've done pseudo relationships, right? But I'm gonna be honest with you, Camelot. What you just described, that's a major issue with me because I very much value loyalty. That's why when people are like, "How the hell are you and Nick like that for all these years?" I go, "Bro, I have no reason to betray Nick, and Nick has no reason to betray me.
Yeah.
You start dealing with these females, bro, they will betray you, try to rip your heart out, do all kinds of fuck shit behind your back, and you're like, but why though? Because I feel like, because you really, there's no duty." The samurai code, they have no honor. That's why, if you notice, historically, they were never in a position of power or influence. Why do you think that is? Because they knew, bro. They're like water, right? Men are the rock, women are just the water. Ebb and flow. They love you one minute, they hate you the next. They fucking want to delete you off the earth. The next minute, oh my god, I want to have your baby. Camelot, have you had women tell you they actually want to have your baby?
Of course.
And then like later on, when shit hits the fan, you're like, well, I didn't have a baby with that bitch, right?
Yeah. Yeah. And the only woman
I love you though. Yeah, okay, sure.
The only woman I did was married, and now it's his baby, I guess. Samantha Bullock says, "Got to go to bed. Have to be in the office tomorrow. Love you, Cam, and see you Saturday night, Drex." Thank you so much. I'll see you.
I'm really happy for Samantha.
I agree
because I'm gonna be real with you, man. I'm always relieved to hear women take advice from men because the worst choice you could ever make as a woman is to take advice from a woman, right? They will lead you to fucking ruin. Whereas like the dude is like, do this. Like if a woman is sitting there going, "Hey Drex, this is the relationship problem I'm having. What do I do?" Ladies, a man who's not trying to just smash you, right? Who actually cares about you is going to give you real sound advice. And the advice, and if you follow it, don't argue with him, don't deviate from what he's telling you. If you do exactly what he tells you, you're gonna come back going, "Oh my God, Drex, everything improved." It's like, of course it fucking improved. Of course it improved.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the most important thing is women will take advice from other women.
Oh.
And what is the leading cause for like divorce or breakups? It's because they had one of their single friends tell them how great the single life was. And
what is the old saying? Single women keep women single.
Yeah, it's the crabs in a bucket.
Yep, bro. You're. This is for all you ladies, especially the young ones. You're bitter single mother. You're hating aunties, right? You're disgruntled fucking whoever, right? The Karen at the office. They want you to fail.
Yeah,
they want you to pack on weight. They want your relationship to fail, and they're gonna try to fuck the same man that they said he ain't shit.
Take a mental health day. Just take a mental health day and eat some ice cream while they're fucking the dude that you want to fuck.
Yep.
That's the whole point. That's the whole point. They want to keep you single and they want to keep you what? Miserable like they are.
Miserable.
Yes. That's the whole
uplift
point.
each other. Bro, Camelot, have you ever seen a guy tell a guy that he wants him to just gain weight? Like, bro, be a fat ass. No. Get in the gym, bro. Hey man, you want me to give you a workout routine? Let's they're always motivating each other, right? Now, simps who are basically, females with, cosplaying as dudes, they will try to do female shit, right? Like try to ruin you, talk behind your back. Real bros don't do that ever, man. Real bros never go behind their man.
I told one of my friends 2 days ago, I was like, he posted a picture on Facebook and I haven't seen him in a while. And I messaged him, I'm like, "Dude, you getting kind of round, son." I was like, "Do you still hitting the gym?" And he was like, "Oh, I've kind of gotten away from it." I'm like, "Dude, well, you should come to my gym. We'll work out together."
Yep.
I don't tell him, "Oh, well, dude, it's fine. Society's just messed up. Take a mental
that
health
acceptance.
Day.
It's
mental health day.
Mental health. No, there's it's European beauty standards, right? That's what you hear in the black community, right?
Yeah. In
fucking Blackistan. It's European beauty standards. No, it's called being fucking healthy, right?
Yep.
That's it. Like we want. Here's the thing, though, Camelot. I want the women to be happy. I really do, because here's the thing: if the women are happy, the government gets smaller and less intrusive, and people have communities, and they're going to be happier overall.
Yep. Exactly. John Beard says, "If you can't trust your life partner, you can't trust anyone?" ? So, what I say always in this situation is be cautiously optimistic, and don't be that guy that ignores obvious cues. If you leave and you're let's say you're gone, you're on a work trip, and your wife tells you, hey, Jason, my old friend from high school, is going to come stay at the house with me while you're gone. We're friends, we've been friends forever, and it's not like that. He's just going to stay here. Like, and you say yes to that, dude, she's fucking that dude in your house. I've actually seen this happen to friends in real life on multiple occasions, where a guy they used to know came over and fucked them the whole time their dude was on a trip. That's what I'm saying. Be cautiously optimistic. Don't think the worst, but understand that it is very, very possible, and don't let that shit fall to the wayside. You know what I'm saying? Don't let your girl go on an all girls trip to Las Vegas. Okay.
Ever. No girls trips. No cruises either.
Don't let your girl put on a freaking string bikini or string top and go to the club and then stay gone till 2 a.m. the next day or 6 a.m. the next day because she's getting dick down. All right. Yep. That's the whole point. That's all I'm saying. Be cautiously optimistic, because you wouldn't do that, right, John? You wouldn't go out to a bar that was predominantly women and then be gone until 8 a.m. the next day, stay all out, disappear somewhere, not be able to explain where you were the next day. You wouldn't do it, right? So you wouldn't expect your woman to do it either. They don't get special treatment. And I would argue they shouldn't do it at all. I mean, I wouldn't. I mean, I don't go out to bars, especially when I was married. Shit, I never did anything like that. And that's all I'm saying. Be cautiously optimistic in those situations. Speaking of cautiously optimistic, we are 320 from Fight Milk and 25 until the 1,000 like goal. Thank you, guys.
I don't know how we don't have 1,000 likes.
We're almost there. 25, we're close. 25 hey, look, I'm not Nick Rekieta. All right. We're close. We get like half the viewers, which is still pretty damn good. But yeah, dude, it's a balance system. It's a balance system. A lot of people don't understand. Men and women are different. This is the most obvious thing. A lot of people like to assume that we're the same. We're not. We're completely different. And when you can look at that objectively, especially during this stream, when there's a lot of this is the whole thing. This is the entire point of the stream. A lot of women will be offended, and a lot of men that are married will be offended. Yep. Because they'll tell you right away their woman doesn't do anything like that. Take advice from a single man that has no interest nor possibility of fucking you in the chat. I am not going to have sex with a random girl in chat that appears. I won't be having sex with you. So if you ask me for advice, I can give you unbiased advice.
Agreed.
If your guy is like, if a guy walks in the door, he doesn't want to hear you arguing, make him some food, rub his feet, suck him off. That'll change the entire foundation of your marriage if you're having troubles. It'll change everything in 1 second. Does it sound like slave work to you? You've been brought up a different way as a woman. Because hearing this now, you're like, well, that sounds like I'm an object and I'm just serving him.
Oh, God, yeah.
Men, they find love in acts of service. Women find love in affection and gifts. We are different. You can't treat each other the same way. That's the thing that makes me more rock hard than anything is when a girl takes her drawers off when I just woke up and I'm not even thinking about anything, and she starts just stroking my junk. I'm like, holy shit, this is great. What the fuck's happening right now?
It's amazing.
I didn't even ask for this.
Or how about this? How about this, Camelot? She's cooking in lingerie.
Yeah.
Right?
Hell yeah.
All she's wearing is a little apron. Yes.
All she's got her ass
visual.
Her ass cheeks out.
Ass cheeks out. I said, look, I was talking to Kelly about this, and I said, I'm going, because when I come back to YouTube, I'm going to go down the line and, of course, with visuals. And I want to make sure women know what to wear to entice their husbands, right? Their man. How to be a better woman. Because here's the thing. I don't want these women to be fucking out there in the streets, because the streets is tough, man. You will get ran through and discarded. I don't want that to be what happens to these women. I want them to be in good relationships. Well, guess what? Camelot, everyone that they've talked to, especially, with all the feminism going on, right? You don't got to do shit for your man. Fuck him. He should be, it's like, oh my God. It's like, look, just do this, right? Put that apron on, like learn a recipe, put an apron on, and he'll be shocked. He'll be like, what the hell? I like this. And then when you start doing these things, he wants to do more, right? Yep. He wants to be more engaged. Simple.
Yeah. It's just building each other up.
Yep.
Dude, you take your drawers off, and something that I've never experienced in years happens. You take your drawers off, and you want me to bend you over on the freaking kitchen island out of nowhere.
Out of nowhere, just
I didn't have to ask for it, and then I'm slamming some freaking food after. Suddenly, I'm working on that project that you're interested in around the pool house.
You don't have to nag anymore. You ever notice that? That's the irony. It's a balance. Like the things that you're nagging about, he's like, what's the point of, okay, so ladies, I'm going to give you a little word of advice. The reason why he's not that interested in doing whatever that thing is, that project, whatever, is because like the last time he did something, what was his reward?
Nothing.
Probably nothing. So he's like, fuck it, I just don't care. He stopped caring.
Yeah.
That's
it. It becomes resentful on both ends.
It does. It does.
And Samantha told me this. The same girl we were talking about earlier.
Yep.
She was like, when her husband got home after 2 months at sea, by the way, he would immediately, come home, eat some food, and he wanted to fuck her, right? Obviously. Well, he's going to fuck a damn crab? Yeah, right? He's wanting to fuck his girl. And she would immediately get mad and get crabby and like box up into a box. And she said it was resentful to her. And I'm like,
but what was the reason why though? Like what made her be like, I don't want to give up sex?
Because she's like, well, he just wanted me. He was thinking of me as an object. That's the whole point. Bitch, dude, if I love a girl, right? Let's say I love this girl. And
you women are lost.
Yeah, dude, let's say I love a girl, Drex, right? And I get home after 2 months. And all I want to do is just fill her up and just wreck her ass.
That's right.
Once I wreck her ass and I hand her some tissues, I'll lay with her and pet her head and fall asleep.
Yep. And then when you get up.
Yeah, that's my piece.
Yeah. You get up and then what happens? You become the boyfriend guy, right?
Yeah.
Like even though he's a husband, he's like, babe, what do you need? Hey, let's go out. Hey, let's go to that museum we talked about, right? You become that guy, right?
Yeah.
You know why you're that guy? Because you let the beast out. You let all that energy out, right?
Yeah.
Bus. And this is what you ladies don't understand. That's what men needed. I don't know if you ladies have noticed this. We're past 2 hours. All of these people who are going on super soaker extravaganzas, especially the men. Do you ever notice they seem to be incels and angry at women, and they're not sexually active? Have you noticed that? Yeah, guess what? That's why men react with actual violence. Women act with social violence when they don't get what they want, right? So the fat, ugly warthog feminist that looks like Lena Dunham, they do it through social violence, right? I'm going to cancel Formula One girls. We're going to destroy everything. Oh my God, I'm going to destroy all the next crop of women coming up saying the patriarchy and men are bad and toxic masculinity. That's how they do it. When men do it, they go like this. Camelot, I'm about to go put on the hockey mask.
Yeah.
And they go out there. See, that it's direct.
Yep.
Women do it indirect.
That's why when we feed women hormones like testosterone out the gills when they're 14, they commit mass shootings.
They do.
I can't say this on YouTube, I don't think, actually, right now.
I
wonder why.
2 hours.
I can't believe that the fact that we're feeding literally test C to 14-year-old girls, it made them aggressive.
Who knew?
Can't believe it. Who saw this shit coming? Shocking. Yeah. I won't get much into that. But real quick, we're 15 likes away from the 1,000 like, boys. We're close. We're almost there. Samantha, I love you. Kevin Ray. I'm going to give a big shout out to a couple people before we log off here. Trent Westbrook, I love you. I appreciate you. Carrie Davidson, I love you. I appreciate you. Debbie McNasty, Disco Cobra, and Disco Cobra again. We had 4 pink boys tonight, 1 away from a pink ass night. Ashley, Bill Southerly, Jeezy, Samantha, Legal Vices, Exactly, Vermin Infested, Holy Ozone, Jeezy, Speedy, The Unsilent, and Vermin Infested. Damn, there's a bunch of them. Ryu and Jabradel, 12 gold, boys. We hit the gold ass night. Thank you, guys. Bill Southerly for the orangies. Slaglust and AWM and Karis, 4 orange boys. We got 1 orange and 1 pink from a orange and pink and gold knot. And 10 likes away before we log off here. Is there anything you want to shill before you get off. Because right when you shield, after you shield, I want you to stay because I'm gonna do Naked Snake. I don't know where my bandana is, and I'm kind of drunk.
Oh shit! Well, before Metal Gear Solid 5, Phantom Pain was hot garbage, but Metal Gear was my favorite franchise of all time.
God, it's so good.
Love my Metal Gear games. Love Solid Snake, Naked Snake. Liquid was my favorite villain ever.
Yeah.
I love Liquid Snake. Love Liquid. You can follow me on YouTube at the MGTOWN Podcast. You can follow me on Twitter at @real_Drex. And like I said, I'll be back producing content next month. I had a break. Like I said, I was working. And I mean, what it is though, Camelot, you ever have that thing where like you just want a break just to have a break?
Yeah, I wish.
Right. And you're like, during that break, you're like, okay, when I come back, I'm going to do all these things differently. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. And you're like, okay, so now I have like the idea in my mind. And, over the next week or so, I'll be, writing that stuff down and say, okay, now I'm going to come back and make this content. Obviously still for men, of course, because that'll never change. But we'll be doing it, man. We'll be back.
Yeah. See, I've never taken a break on YouTube before in 4 years. Because it's my main source of income. So there, you know how YouTube is. If you don't put out a video or do something within like a 2, 3, 4 day period, you're done. They'll be like, "Fuck you. We don't want you here anymore." So I've never taken a break before. I think the longest I ever went without uploading an actual video was 7 days, but I was still uploading shorts and I was still like engaging in my community. Like on the community tab for every day. So like I've never taken a break before and I don't even know what it's like, to be honest. So it is something I long for, but I know I'll never be able to do at least in this capacity. I'm not like PewDiePie. PewDiePie could take a month off and come back and then release a video and it'll get 20 million views. I can't do that. Love you, mi amor, Sonia Lysette. It's the fifth orange boy. Thank you so much. And we hit 1,000 likes right there. Hell yes. Yeah. And one more shout out to Trent Westbrook, the only red boy tonight with one pink boy away. Thank you guys so much. It's time to peel off the shirt before we log off here tonight with this successful stream. One of the best streams and funnest streams I've ever had with Drexel. It's been a lot of fun.
It's a blast, man. Thanks
for having a lot of fun. Been really, really great. I was very excited for this one for a long time. I was really glad you responded and said yes immediately. Thank God.
Yeah, you caught me on my vacation week.
Hell, it all worked out.
Yeah, so I'm just like, so that's anybody who wants to like do something. It's like, hey, Drexel, you come on? Of course I can. But I ain't doing shit all week. I'm finally having a break.
Renee, oh my God, Villarreal, what's up, baby? One of the OGs in here. Yeah. Make it pink. Thank you, Renee. I love you. I appreciate you so much for the pink boy. It's a pink ass night. Orange, pink, and gold boy night. Thank you, Renee. I love you. I appreciate you. Samantha Bullock says 2 weeks, not 2 months. I wanted to talk. I was wanting to talk before getting dirty, but I said, like anyone, I learned that he got needs. Yes, it was more that I felt like a chore, but I didn't have that mindset anymore. Like a chore. That makes sense. Yes. It's that time again, boys. I'm going to take my headset off. Here we go. You guys ready?
Oh, shit.
It's time for Naked Snake, boys.
Naked Snake.
Oh, my God. There you go, boys. You ready, Drex? Here we go. In my time, there be nobody else. Cry. It's the way I fly to you. Ooh, I'm still in a dream, snake eater. It just makes me think about going up the ladder for 5 minutes.
The ladder scene in part, bro. Oh my God.
God, what a great game, dude.
You know what doesn't get talked about enough? Metal Gear Solid 2, the entirety of the game, but in particular the ending.
Such a great game.
The Illuminati, right? With the Patriots.
It almost explains what's going on right now
to a T.
Yeah.
So for those of you who don't think, but when it came out in 2001, right? That was my freshman year of college.
Yeah.
I remember there were when it came out, it was getting all these 10 out of 10s. And then there was a backlash because Raiden was the protagonist. And then people were like, this is all meta babble. We want to get back down to earth. So that, Metal Gear Solid 3, it was more well received, right?
Yeah.
Except for the shitty camera. And people were kind of bashing Metal Gear Solid 2, right? It's just, cutscenes and blah, blah. And then society fucking got to where it is now. And people were like, this shit's prophetic. Literally step by step, it all came to be.
They predicted it, man.
Sons of Liberty is great, man.
Great ass game. If you guys have not played it, I need you guys to get on it, doggone it. Play some Metal Gear Solid 1, 2, 3, 4. Great games. Skip the Phantom Pain. It's fantastic, guys. Thank you again for hitting Niggas Think tonight. We did it. Here it is, boys. The titty bounce. Ready?
Titty bounce.
There you go, guys. Appreciate you guys so much. We've hit Niggas Think 138 times in a row on this channel. The last time we did not hit it was May of 2022. It is March 30th,
nice.
2023. We're getting there, boys. We're doing it. Thank you, Renee, again. Thank you, Jana Mac, for your blue boy. Thank you, Tristan, for your blue boy. I appreciate you guys so much. And thank you so much, Drex, for coming on. Dude, it's been a wild show.
It has been a great one, brother. I appreciate it, man.
I had people DMing me and being like, what the fuck is going on? Because we were talking pretty heavy there for a while. And I'm like, bro, you guys just don't understand. You don't get it.
Well, what's crazy, though, is that, I've told people that, my interests, right, whether it be, in a lot of my hobbies, in the fight game, in writing, in poetry, video games, all that. And I was like, one of the things about relationships, because people ask me like, Drex, you talk about this stuff so much. I go, because it's every day you have to deal with it in some form or fashion.
Yeah.
Every day somebody's coming to me with, Drex, did you see that this celebrity got divorced? Drex, did you find out that, this guy got cucked? Drex, did you see that? So it's like, in an ideal world, guys would be red pill, right? So I wouldn't have to talk about this shit ever. I'd be like, oh yeah, every guy knows male nature versus female nature. They know all the games that are getting played. We're good, right?
Yeah.
But they don't. Right? They don't. There's dudes out here still giving money to Amaranth. The fuck are you doing with your life?
And your porn is fake. It's not even real.
Bro, it is trashed here.
It's like soft core on Skin.
Bro, I saw it on Spank Bang, and I'm like, same with Belle Delphine, right? I was like, why are you guys giving these ethos money? But
yeah,
they won't stop. Like the Simps won't stop. The 304s won't stop. So I just went like this. I'm done.
And why is it? Why is it? Because 79% of men in Western countries are not sexually active.
Yep.
79%.
Yep. So they got to get the validation and attention somehow.
And people don't understand. Like, I've been with a lot of women, because, Tinder and shit and where I live. And I'm just a normal ass dude. I don't try to make a personality up on the fly. I'm just myself. And I hang out with a lot of girls, right?
Yep.
You think they don't understand is there's guys out there, I have friends that haven't hooked up with a girl in 6 years. The women that are hooking, the men that are hooking up with women, it's like 4 of them per 500 women right now.
Agreed.
And it's because all these women want the same guy. They want a guy that's jacked, shredded, got a lot of money, owns his own house, and also he has to be at least 5'10", at least bare minimum, and he has to be charming and have a good personality. He has to meet all these goals.
Yep.
For men, you just have a fat ass, and we're gonna smash.
Yep. Yeah. Anything, right? Because we can feature fuck. She has a cute face, smash. Nice titties, smash. You know what? I like her red hair, right? Like we'll dip our standards for a ginger because she's a ginger, right? Smash. Yep. And Kamala, here's what's crazy though. You were talking about the standards that women have that are completely out of control, right? Unchecked hypergamy. Have you ever looked up the female delusion calculator?
Yeah.
Bro, I've had women sit there and be like, oh, Drex, I think I'm pretty reasonable. And here's what's sad. By modern standards, they are reasonable. Camelot, if a girl can even get 12% on there, it's like, Jesus, you're for a woman, for a Western woman, you're reasonable, right?
Yeah.
Bro, most of them, only 15% of men on planet Earth are 6 foot or taller, right?
Yeah.
These women walk up going, he has to be at least 6'3". It's like, okay, you literally already narrowed your pool down to like 8%, right?
Yeah.
And then he has to make 6 figures. You know, he has to be, he can't have kids. He's got to have a jacked body. By the time you get done with all their requirements, you're literally talking about a fraction of a 10,000th of a percent.
It's like 11 dudes in the entire.
You're literally like in the entire country, right? We have 330 million people in America, right? The amount of guys who actually fit modern women's standard, especially if you talk about education or something, right? You add other standards.
Yeah,
you're not lying, Kema. It's like per capita, you're talking about like maybe 10 dudes per state.
Yeah.
Now they will still smash a guy who's outside of that, right? Like, well, he's 5'10", but he fits all the other ones, or he fits all the other ones, but he only makes $50,000 a year, right? He's a jacked, apprentice mechanic or something. He may fit a lot of the things, but maybe not one or two. So those guys still get lots of action.
Yeah.
But the amount of guys who fit all their standards, you're talking literally a handful per state.
Yeah. And
good luck, ladies.
Half of them are probably already married. And
yeah. You got to check with the married ones already. Yep.
They're clapping everybody. They're clapping
all day. Like they're
all day.
All of your friends are getting smashed by the same dude. Ladies, just stop. I know you're incapable of stopping because you can't be good. You can act good, but you can't be good. Lower your standards. I know you won't, but I'm just giving you some advice.
And that's a great way to end the damn show. Lower your damn standards, boys.
Please.
Get the hell on it, doggone it. You guys can follow Drex at MakeTown Podcast on YouTube. Of course, The Real Drex on Twitter, I believe it is.
Yep, at real_Drex.
At real_Drex. The links are in the description. Get the hell on it, doggone it. I appreciate you again, Drex, for coming on and hanging out with your boy. It's been a lot of fun. And hopefully you'll be on one of next Friday shows again with me.
Oh, absolutely.
Hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah. Get the hell on it, doggone it. I love you guys. Sonia says bye-bye, Drex.
She's sweet.
Beautiful
Thanks,
girl.
Sonia.
We'll see you guys next time. See you guys later. Appreciate it. Get the hell on it, doggone it. Say bye, Drex.
Peace out, everybody.
Hell yeah.
Stay toxic.